he's like one slide at third man or fine leg away from injuring his knees, you know. अब हाल ही में I think 2 साल के बाद वो वापस आए वेस्ट इंडीज के लिए. In his first match back, he was man of the match. He took 3 wickets, didn't even give 20 runs and then got that cameo. But दूसरे मैच में आखिरी ओवर में he had to defend 21 and he gave it in 5 balls. Now I understand कि ये fickle format है, you know, but someone like Russell, yes, he's massive and he brings so much to it. But like Chetan said, in 20, you're going to 24 still dependent not just on him as well as Sunil Narayan. You know, yes, he's economical, but he stopped running through teams 5 years ago, 6 years ago. One more thing I want to add. Yes, it's a problem with all rounders, but when did KKR, Soumya, last have a settled batting unit? I remember Dinesh Karthik batting from opener to number 8, Owen Morgan up and down, Nitish Rana opening 3, 4. I think they need to really fix out Venkatesh Iyer. They really need to figure out their batting. You know, you can expect कि अगर Andre Russell 50% परफॉर्मेंस दे तो आप कुछ कर पाओगे, बाकी 50% आप उम्मीद करते हो कि रसल नारायण स्टैंड्स अप. But beyond these obvious weak links, despite being T20 superstars, I think they have to, you know, spin bowling. I agree with Chetan. They have 3 very good spinners. पेस बॉलिंग ठीक ठाक है, पर आपका जो बैटिंग है, ओवरऑल बैटिंग इज व्हाट विंस यू टूर्नामेंट्स. आई नो लोग कहते हैं बॉलिंग फिर भी ठीक है, आपका बैटिंग है ही नहीं. तो आई होप दे लुकिंग फॉर अ सेकंड कीपर. आई थिंक दे लेट गो शेल्डन जैक्सन, if I'm not mistaken. Who's your second, you know, your batter? They open with Gurbaz and kabhi Jason Roy, to kabhi wo N Jagadisan. You keep shuffling your order every 5 matches. Ab kahan se trophy jeetoge? Let's hope for KKR's fans' sake that they get some stable batting options.
I can just add about KKR. I think they have already made their most important purchase before the auctions, and that's Gautam Gambhir. He's like that headmaster. मतलब कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है ना, तो या वो फूफा जी नहीं होते कि शादी अभी ठीक से हमको करनी है, लेकिन टेंट ठीक से लगा नहीं है, खाना अरेंज नहीं हुआ है, लास्ट डे हो गया है, शादी का टाइम हो गया है, और वो फूफा जी आते हैं और कहते हैं कि नहीं, and then he gets everything in order. He is that फूफा जी. He'll come and he'll get the house in order. He did that with LSG. He gave them a base. KKR ka order, the house is not in order. He'll come back and he's just going to do that. I think that's a very, very important buy. If somebody can tell KKR it's time to move on from Russell and Narayan, that's Gautam Gambhir.
Also, you know, carrying that same line of thought forward, I get this feeling that he's just about come, Gautam Gambhir, you know, and it's just about kind of getting an idea as to so he would need time, you know, kind of, there's been an existing management for a long time. Gautam would obviously have come with fresh ideas. He's obviously has had his share of experience as at LSG doing what he was doing. So now if he had his share of ideas bringing to the table, he would need time to implement them. That perhaps is one of the reasons why KKR decided to continue with the Nareen and Andre Russell this thing, because it just allows them to get over with this season with a squad that they understand, they know, and, you know, kind of whatever they can identify with. You go in with a completely new set, the coach and the new team would probably have lesser time, you know, to adjust. They have that much more time once they get through the season.
And probably they'll have a better purse in the mega auction if they release both of them.
Of course.
Side.
No, just talking about KKR's batting, I think it hasn't looked this convincing before. If you talk about their batting order right now, just what they have Shreyas Iyer at 3, they have a Rana coming in at 4, they have a Rinku Singh at 5, they can have a Andre Russell at 6. So that makes a very formidable middle order composition, so to say.
But again, they'll have a problem with the opening slot.
So you have Jason Roy, you have Gurbaz, you can try Venkatesh Iyer.
They need Venkatesh to open.
So now whether Gambhir would want that or not, because he's not a big fan of these makeshift opening things. You know, having followed him so closely in Delhi Ranji also, you know, he sticks to those specialist things. And if you see how he operated at LSG too, वो Venkatesh Iyer wala experiment is something which I don't think will last that long. But you have good options in Jason Roy. Jason Roy did considerably well in the little period he played last year. Gurbaz is again a very promising player, but as Jamie said, you know,
again,
they need a good.
That takes up a lot of overseas slot. You know, Gurbaz, Jason Roy, Anderson,
all
the four.
Yeah, अगर आपने गुरबाज, रॉय, नारायण, रसल को खिलाया, you have no room to maneuver in your pace department. आपके पास कोई room नहीं बचेगा. The problem with KKR is, and they need Indian batsmen. They need somebody from obviously Indian origin to step up, an Indian batter to step up. वो नहीं हो रहा है उनके पास. And the problem is, and I think ये problem सारे franchises को आएगी, who need Indian batsmen. I'm looking at RCB. कौन है? You don't have Indian batsmen in the auction pool established. Youngsters हैं, but youngsters are not going to, you know, win you the IPL. They will be your support base. वो आपको support करेंगे आपके big players को. KKR के साथ ये problem problem hai ki they don't need a support Indian batter. They need an Indian batter who can step up. Will they go back for Manish Pandey? That's a very, very important
Yeah,
question.
but again, then that takes up a opening slot. No, that will take up a opening slot.
No,
I mean,
Manish Pandey is not going to open
with
for
whom
you.
you open with whom?
I'm
Manish
just
Pandey.
I'm just saying कि they don't have an option.
Yeah.
आपके पास है ही नहीं ना opening batter.
Yeah.
ये चीज सब टीमों के लिए लागू है. KKR के लिए भी ये लागू है. They need to find a solution.
Yeah.
They don't have a solution. How are they going to, move that solution around, move players around to get that solution, to arrive at that solution? वो बहुत important है.
I'll quickly move to the
One last thought. When you were talking about openers, Gautam Gambhir, Nitish Rana, you need an opener. There's a Dhruv Shawar in the auction list. So I'm like widely thinking now because it's the first time he has come in the auction list after like 3 years. After playing for CSK back in 2018, he had a good season for Vidarbha where he has moved base. So Dhruv Shawar could be one.
Brilliant season with Delhi.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dhruv Shawar could be one option, but yes, Chetan is right. You don't have. I was just quickly scrolling through the list in my mind. Those are 300 names, but not one Indian established player comes to mind. And Karun Nair and Manish Pandey, I don't know, man.
Yeah. आपके पास इंडियन स्पिनर्स नहीं है आज लिस्ट में, इंडियन बैटर्स नहीं है आज लिस्ट में. That's going to be a very, very crucial aspect. कैसे टीम्स उस वीकनेस को, जिसकी भी ये वीकनेस है, उसको कैसे उसकी भरपाई करेंगे, that is going to be very, very important.
Quickly moving on to the next team, Srini, Delhi Capitals. बहुत सारी बातें हो रही हैं. क्रिकेटिंग रीजन से नहीं, लेकिन वैसे बहुत सारी बातें होती हैं because of Rishabh Pant and everything. They have a purse of 28.95 crores. 9 slots they have. Overseas are 4 slots that they are left with. Whom do you think they can go for? They have a Abhishek Porel in the squad, but do you think they can go for a keeper, just a backup keeper?
Yeah, so I was very excited at the prospect of Rishabh Pant coming back, and Sahil, in fact, Sahil had some great details to share about kind of how he's recovering, and the fact that he'll be kind of available for this IPL. I don't know what kind of workload will Rishabh be able to take.
True.
To be fair to the boy, he's been literally away from any kind of cricket, kind of for a full year. It is miraculous. Let me put it this way: his return, it's very heartening and it's miraculous the way he's come back. But I still think that Delhi will have to take that call to have a backup at any given point in time, because IPL is a long tournament, crossing 2 months, and I don't think he would have played any other cricket, coming into the IPL. So yeah, that is probably one of the things. But as Chetan was saying, that Indian batter, that elephant in the room, wo kaun hai? That is a problem with Delhi also. The moment Shreyas left, Delhi, that middle order has suddenly, look at, for me, Delhi is the squad that they had come up with in 2020, the IPL which they played in Dubai, the first year of the pandemic. When they played the final. What a team it was! And for me, for once, after having seen Delhi disappoint year after year after year, I was finally beginning to think that, okay, finally they're just getting it right, in terms of what kind of approach. And it was a very Team India centric approach, young India centric approach that Delhi began to have. But then things have just fallen. Look at Prithvi Shaw, classic example. A boy with so much talent. There are backers, there are people who still have nothing but positive things to say about Prithvi year after year after year. And but I mean, to the common eye, we all know what we are looking at, right? So there are a lot of corrections required. Now, how is Delhi seeing this? How does Delhi want to see this? Do they want to use this season to kind of somehow get through and then probably plan? See, this is I keep on repeating this. I'll give an example. Delhi, considering the Bombay bunch that they have in the middle order, by now they would have identified that here is a young boy Mushir who they can invest in, right? Let's say they buy Mushir. Any franchise, I'm thinking, would want to buy Mushir Khan, would buy with the option that they can retain him next year. Because this boy is going to be picked up at a good, thing, should he come back into the mega auction list, right? So franchise would be looking to buy a Mushir now, keep him, kind of whatever at the lowest salary grade, retain him, so that you don't really have to think about it in the mega auction. So that is something I would like to see Delhi doing, which is use this to kind of look at the big picture and kind of play the game of patience.
Jimmy, but barring the couple of innings here and there, Prithvi Shaw का जो पिछला season था, looking at that, can Delhi go for someone who is also a keeper and can bat up the order, like probably in the opening slot? What do you have to say?
They'll have to look. We discussed this yesterday. Delhi need an overseas opener and a keeper, and like we discussed yesterday, they need an Indian opener. Because Prithvi Shaw, fitness issues and form, this is always going to be a problem with him,
Yeah.
even in the best of times and the worst of times. So if they're planning their batting around Prithvi Shaw being a reliable opener, unfortunately, I think they're not going to go very far. Again, we discussed it yesterday. They have David Warner, World Cup winner, as opener. They have Mitchell Marsh, World Cup winner, at number 3. Why not go for Travis Head? You
Yeah.
know, Travis Head is the flavor of this year, along with Pat Cummins. Man of the match in the World Cup final, man of the match in the World Cup semi-final, man of the match in the WTC final. So the 3 tournaments, the 3 big matches for Australia this year, Travis Head has been a constant. Recency bias bhi hai. He made a late start to the World Cup, got a blistering some 68 ball 100. Uske baad, when he took, like I said yesterday also, when he took 2-3 days to recover from the high of the World Cup, he played just 3 T20s. In those 3 T20s in Indian conditions, he gave blazing starts, 35, 34, 28. So a team like Delhi, I would imagine, would see someone like Travis Head. Now, they also need a keeper because Rishabh Pant aa sakte hain, but Delhi Capitals को फिलहाल ये सोच के जाना पड़ेगा कि ऋषभ पंत नहीं
नहीं
है.
आ रहे.
That's your worst case scenario. आएंगे तो great. You need someone. Josh Inglis is there. Kusal Mendes is there. You need keepers who, like you said, top order batsmen. Josh Inglis got a blistering 100. It came in a lost cause. But recency bias, you might see him get some bidding. Kusal Mendes, traditionally Sri Lankan keeper batsman, kabhi nahi gaye IPL mein, but someone like him can open, can bat 3.
And the way
So
he
Delhi's main
played in the-
weakness is, जब से शिखर धवन गए, वो जूझ रहे हैं कौन आएगा next. I would say go for either Travis Head, like you rightly said, keeper चाहिए, Josh Inglis है, Kusal Mendes है. Do not go, without being disrespectful, do not go to that Abhishek Porel type level. हो सके युवा खिलाड़ी है, बहुत talent है. You need to be made of slightly tougher mentality.
Yeah.
That's why in the history of the IPL, only one uncapped keeper batsman has come to the fore, and that's Rishabh Pant. No disrespect, कोई और खिलाड़ी ऐसा नहीं कर पाया. I would want to see them go for international top order keeper batsman.
Chinmay, I'll just come to you. Sahil, considering the purse they have, Delhi Capitals, 28.95 crores, they can bid for someone like a Travis Head or Kushal Mendes.
They should, they will. And they will go for Travis Head, that is for sure, because Warner, you are not sure how long he's going to play, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is like a 2.5 month thing, but if you get someone like a Travis Head really cheap, you can also end up retaining him before the mega auction, because he's someone you can like invest in for the next 2-3 years. Actually, inside keeping the big picture in mind. But the keeping option, I think Abhishek Porel, they definitely, I don't know why he's still retained. I don't
That's
see
a
any.
backup, I guess.
No, but still, there are plenty of good keepers in India right now, and Abhishek Porel, except playing for Bengal, hasn't done anything of major note that he was retained. And last year, Delhi were all at sea, boss. You can't have a Abhimanyu Easwaran, a Priyam Garg giving trials mid-season. Abhimanyu Easwaran, you want in a T20 side. What was happening there? And that was all baffling. And right now, I think Urvil Patel is one keeper. Gujarat, top order batter, scored a 40-50 ball 100 this year only. Gun player was with Gujarat Titans, was released. But I think that is one backup keeper they can have. But completely agree with Jamie that you need quality at top of the order. That's for sure.
With that, we have started with the auctions as well. But Chinmay, you were saying something.
Yeah, if there's anybody who knows what is the exact status of Rishabh Pant, that is Delhi Capitals. They can't afford another season without him. उनका season शुरू होने से पहले ही खत्म हो गया था last year. Like Sahil said, they were giving tryouts mid-season. They need so much in terms of their batting, and Rishabh Pant is not just a keeper; he's a captain. He's a prime batsman. It's just they know what is going to happen, and I think this time they are going to prepare in case Pant is not available. But without Pant, I don't see them going anywhere.
Moving on to Mumbai Indians, Srini, 17.75 crores overseas. They have total of 8 slots, 4 overseas. What do they need? Just because almost everything is sorted for them. Bowlers.
Desperately. Mitchell Starc, Vanindu Hasaranga. Or that guy, Gerald Coetzee. One of these 3 is a must. And if they can bolster their bowling attack, they are literally, they are very much in his favourites.
And the way Coetzee performed in the World Cup, that just adds up.
Yes, but then also, Hasaranga, especially in conditions like Wankhede, I wouldn't be surprised.
Jamie, what do you think? Left arm spinner or a premium pacer?
Look, I think this has also been said before also. Piyush Chawla was exceptional. But if you're relying on Piyush Chawla to do it again back-to-back years, आपकी bowling थोड़ी कम है. You have Kumar Karthike, Ritik Shaukin अभी नहीं है. You need to replace, like Shane said, you need a fast bowler and you need a spinner. अब Lasith Malinga वापस आए हैं. Someone like a Dilshan Madhushankar, you know, again, I go back to recency bias. Kutsiye was brilliant, you know, but where did Madhushankar first make his name in that World Cup? Second ball wankade when he bowled Rohit Sharma, right? At one point for about 10 days, वो इस one day World Cup के leading wicket taker थे. समाप्ति पर वो number 3 पे थे. 18 wickets he had, 18 wickets Gerald Kutsiye had. Both are, you know, but 23, 24, left armor, Malinga factor, and I'm going to have to agree with Srini. Hasaranga की जरूरत पड़ेगी, and maybe Malinga will rope in these two players.
Yeah. Okay, Sahil, just coming to RCB, a budget of 23.25 crores. They have 6 slots left, 3 overseas. A lot to fix up. Though they have a pretty balanced squad, they have a Lomro probably in the middle order for now. Anuj Rawat is there, DK is there, then Virat, Faf, and Maxwell. But they still need, you know, bowlers to
I think that
who can contain.
their top 7 are sorted. You have Faf, Virat, Rajat Patidar, Glenn Maxwell, Cameron Green, Dinesh Karthik. Then you can have probably
Also Suyesh Prabhudesai.
Suyesh Prabhudesai you can chip in, or you can try a Mahipal Lomrod who has been doing well for Rajasthan in the domestic circuit. So I think the 7 is sorted. You have Karan Sharma as your leggy. You have Mohammad Siraj. I think what they need right now is a bloody good death bowler. That is something which is required after, you know, Harshal Patel's inconsistent returns last season. I think they need someone at the death. They have Topley. I think they have retained Topley, but you can't trust Topley to last 14 games. So you need a good medium pacer for sure.
They need someone who can play that containing role, or probably someone who can bowl in the death? Because, you know, you talk about Vijay Kumar, Vaishak, Siraj, Akashdeep, Topley, they give away runs at times. So do you think they need a containing bowler, probably in the power plays more than the...
They need good fast bowlers for sure, because see, you need to fill in Hazelwood's shoes also, and he was very good for RCB. He wasn't that bad. With Siraj, with the new ball, I think both of them made a good pairing. And so you need some sort of bowler in that mold who can do the job up front and in the final overs. But more than that, I think they still haven't found that perfect bowler to replace Yuzvendra Chahal. You know, even that Hasaranga experiment fell flat. So they need definitely a good left arm spinner or leg spinner for sure, who has the heart to bowl at Chinnaswamy. Not the skills. Everyone has the skills. You need a big heart to bowl at Chinnaswamy.
But again, you know, you also need somebody from the domestic circuit who has been performing really well. Uncapped one. Do you think RCB can, you know, make that change? Can go for that innovation this time?
So see, RCB camp, from what I heard, they had a camp right before the auction. And there was a Delhi bowler, Mani Grewal, who attended those camps, and I think he bowls quick. He's 145 plus, very strongly built boy, hits the deck hard, and he's strong, 6-pack abs and all that jazz. So he's strong and hasn't played a lot of cricket for Delhi, but he's in the under-23 CK Naidu probables this year. There's another spinner who I have played a lot of cricket with, Digvesh Rathi, another Delhi boy, played under-23, under-25, mystery spinner, bowls four has the ability to bowl 4 different deliveries. So he could be one bowler to watch out for too. But I think Anshul Kamboj, you were mentioning right before the auction that he was a net bowler last time around. So they need those bowlers, but I think more than that, they need an out-and-out good fast bowler, and they could well go for Mitchell Starc.
And he's coming from a very good Vijay Hazare tournament. He picked up 15 odd wickets in those games for Haryana. There's a bidding war going on for Robin Park, who had a 1 CR of base price, and it's between KKR and Rajasthan, if I'm not mistaken. Chetan bhai.
Yeah, a little surprising that Rajasthan Royals are going for it. I'm not sure where do they have a spot for him, because you know, maybe as a backup batsman, because Josh Butler might not be available for the entire season. So they are looking at, you know, he's obviously the mini auction. So you're looking at somebody who's there just for a season. They're looking for a backup for Josh Butler, is my thought. They have Shimron Hetmeyer in the middle order. Unka middle order mein, I thought they need somebody else, not somebody like a Robin Powell. And KKR again, I'm not sure, because they do need a top order batsman. Like he has an issue against spin. That's very, very widely known. But let's see how it goes. For now, these are the two sides which are going for him. It'll be interesting to see which of them gets it. And उनका किस तरीके से change होगा dynamics team का, वो देखना बहुत जरूरी है. For now, I think both of them are actually. Did we get a green light there? Has some team got it?
7.4.
but it's hilarious because RR have had a budget before this of 14.5 crores.
And they've spent
They spent
7 crores.
7.4 crores.
7 crores on.
And
Oh
they still
my
have
God.
7 slots and 2 overseas left now if they've picked him up.
This is
He's
another
a top order
Ryan
batsman,
Parag
right?
move. No, he bats 5-6.
But
Jamie,
why would they need?
Jamie, I'll just
This just goes to say, while you were talking, I was looking at the other screen and I'm just laughing. You know, हम इतने सोच के आते, plan बनाते आते, हम यहाँ बैठे, हमें
5-6. He
घंटा
batted for
मालूम
Delhi
पड़ता है
5-6.
कि ये franchises कैसे सोचते हैं. I mean,
Yes,
who
he
would have
was not
thought? You
even
know,
used for
just
Delhi.
yesterday on Cricket Next Soumya, I was saying I'm struggling to put together 5 names. Did anyone think the first name Robin Powell would go for 7? Like Chetan said, he does not bowl. He's got a spin problem. He's been extremely inconsistent in the IPL, but he just got a match-winning 50 like 5 days ago. So
Yeah.
forget the World Cup. People are probably picking him on what he did last week. Very, very surprised that RR have spent
I'm
half their
not
money.
No,
understanding
but
Robin
they're
Powell.
missing one point here. He's the captain of Barbados Royals.
Yeah. But you
Rajasthan
can't
Royals
really
sister
spend
concern.
okay, that's
Sister
fine.
concern. So they are
अब ये tournament आपको इंडिया में खेलना है.
नहीं,
Barbados
that's
में नहीं
fine.
खेलना है.
नहीं, India में खेलना है. But I'm saying
but
कि they are taking a
above
look at the
everything-
performances.
Above
Hear me out,
everything,
hear me out.
Look at the
Brand.
budget.
Yeah, that's fine. Budget की तो आप छोड़ दो. अब आप auction में आते हो, budget के बारे में नहीं सोचते हो. This is a huge, I don't know, it's a negative for them to go at 7.4 crores. But what I'm saying is, they've seen his performances in the CPL.
Yeah.
They've seen what he can do. They've seen something that DC didn't see, we didn't see.
Yeah.
Sahil obviously has just said he bats at 5-6. He bats at 5-6 because Delhi mein he was not going to get that top order spot. You know, you look at CPL, he bats in the top 4. But यहाँ पे, from that perspective, how are you? Rajasthan Royals ka top 3 is fixed unless and until you're thinking.
Do you think then Ryan Parag gets his position to bat at? If you have Roman Powell at 5 or 6, he can bat at 4.
I
don't know. I
can't
can't make sense of this price tag for sure. The auction, okay, fine. You wanted Roman Paul, you get Roman Paul, but why so much interest in Roman Paul on basis of one CPL? We saw what happened with him at DC, boss. We saw what happened with him at DC. He was struggling. He wasn't able to read the Googlies.
Yeah. Okay, on a serious note, Srini, I'll just read out the squad now, including Roman Powell for Rajasthan Royals, Josh Butler, Sanju Samson, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shimran Hetmyer, Kunal Singh Rathore, Dhruv Jurel, Domin Ferreira, Ryan Parag, Ashwin, Chahal, Adam Zampa, Trent Bolt, Kuldeep Sen, Avesh Khan, Prasidh Krishna, Sandeep Sharma, and Navdeep Saini. Where do you play him?
Well, as I said, I mean, looking to the only connect that I can see is the Caribbean
Balance.
Royals, you know, kind of the link that they're trying to, and this is something that you know, even KKR, by virtue of having you know, run their CPL franchise, they always had players who could give them that cross connect, you know, between their Indian franchise and the Caribbean franchise. Maybe it's a branding exercise. Other than that, I don't see any reason why Roman Powell for 7.4 CR.
Crores. Yeah.
I mean, let us shut shop and go back, because I don't know why are we even discussing.
And on that note, Jamie, Riley Rosso has got unsold. Expected?
Yeah, absolutely expected. Look, he's done some fantastic things for South Africa and across the T20 franchise landscape, but unfortunately last year he didn't do anything. और जब आपको बहुत बड़ा मौका मिलता है, लगातार 3 पे खेल रहे हो, 4 पे खेल रहे हो, when you don't do anything in 8, 9, 10 games, very, very tough.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to do in the BBL and CPL and all those leagues. अगर आप Indian conditions में 1 साल तक कुछ नहीं करते हो, मुश्किल है आपको वापस आना. And I don't know why he set his base price so high.
For me, this is a surprise. For me, this is a surprise.
7.4 is a surprise, you know.
No. It is. But what I'm saying is कि अगर आप Roman Powell के लिए जा रहे हो, तो why is KKR not going for Riley Russo? He does the same job. That's in the
sorry
middle.
to interrupt you, Chetan. RR are going for Harry Brook, Hammer and Tongs.
Wait.
The bid is over 3 crores already.
No, wait. We'll get to that. But my point is कि Riley Russo को अगर आपको चाहिए, KKR, they've missed out on. It just does not make sense. Why did they not go for Riley Russo at all?
Because they were saving money for Harry Brook? Rajasthan are going for Harry Brook, right?
Rajasthan are going for
Rajasthan
Harry
and
Brook.
DC are in a bidding war, so to say. 3.4 crores already.
DC I understand.
DCI, yeah.
Because they need थोड़ा meat चाहिए उनको middle order में. अगर especially if Rishabh Pant is not there, they need somebody जो Mitchell Marsh के बाद आके कर सके. And Harry Brook is going to do that role only. वो हम देख चुके हैं. He's not going to be a top order batsman. So and DC have the money. Rajasthan 5 crore के बाद तो राजस्थान चुप हो जाएगा ना.
Yeah.
But I think उनको ज्यादा शॉपिंग का जरूरत भी नहीं है. 11 तो उनका मैं उंगली पे गिन सकता हूँ.
किसका?
राजस्थान
का जरूरत नहीं है.
I think
But
just
still,
a couple
that
of
doesn't
in
make
the
sense
middle
for
order.
Roman Powell to
know.
go at 7.4.
No, I'm very
5 was
surprised.
still
I'm
fine.
very
If Rajasthan needed a middle order batsman, then they should have saved their money for Harry
Brook,
Brook.
exactly.
The only reason Roman Powell they went hammer and tongs for 7 point, it does not make sense. And the only reason is he is Barbados Royals ka captain. they know what he's capable of, but in a different league. His performances in the IPL do not, and I think we are all in agreement here. His performances in the IPL do not warrant 7.4 CR. That too, जब राजस्थान के पास सिर्फ 14-15
They have
करोड़ है.
everyone.
Yeah.
And they have everyone. That's a
This
balanced
is,
squad.
Maybe I was thinking they would use their money to go after another bowler to back up to be with
Probably a domestic left arm bowler.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were talking about Madhushanka, who has a base price of 50 lakhs, but they could get into a bidding war for Madhushanka, and the other teams they might have their money. Auction में एक चीज आपको डायनामिक जरूर ध्यान में रखना पड़ता है कि आपके पास कितना पैसा है और कितना बाकी टीम्स आपको उस पैसे की वजह से कितना मैन्यूवर आउट कर सकती हैं. If somebody has 20 crores in their pocket and Rajasthan has only 7 crores, आप कितना दूर चले जाओगे उस bidding war में? I think that's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the expert I don't have the analysis that Rajasthan Royals does, but they know something that we clearly don't.
But Srini, why is Sunrisers not bidding for Harry Brook? They haven't gone for Roman Paul. They do make these kind of decisions, and they have the budget, they have the purse. Sunrisers haven't. Have they? They haven't.
Wasn't Sunrisers? Harry Brook was with Sunrisers.
Was with Sunrisers.
Right?
So they released him.
Yeah, they released him. I don't know what to get.
Harry Brook has been sold to Delhi for 4 crores.
Horrible.
For
That's a steal.
4 crore.
horrible.
That's a steal.
You are expecting him to score at a tired Kotla Square, which will be hosting 4 Ranji Trophy games. You remember what happened at Kotla, where DC were all crybabies that the pitch is
But I
tired.
think that
It's not
4 crore Harry Brook is not
It's a
bad.
steal. It's a steal. It's a
क्या
steal.
बात कर रहे हो?
But that's a
Last year he went for 13 crores.
I was
4 crores.
7.4 crores.
No.
11 crores last.
There are two things here. 4 crores से आपको ये पता चलता है कि first of all, he was overpriced at 13 crore, which everybody knows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second, not everybody is sold on the way Harry Brook has performed.
Yeah.
They don't think that he can perform in these conditions.
Yeah.
That's why he's at 4 crore. He's a steal.
He's a
Forget-
steal.
I think at 4 crores,
Forget
Harry Brook is very
DC
good.
can't like.
नहीं यार, you need नहीं.
But
See, you look at
it's also about the
DC's
hype
background.
that the player has. No, it's also about the hype that the player has.
But barring that one inning last season.
True.
he
Agree
was-
to that.
You
he
look
was
at-
see.
Agree to that.
No, I don't agree to the fact कि जो slow pitch है and all of that, IPL के लिए pitches अच्छे से तैयार हो जाती है. My point is this much: DC need somebody in their middle order. Mitchell Marsh के बाद ऋषभ पंत के वहाँ पे.
But I'll tell you
Go
where
ahead.
I think they're going to bat him. They're going to bat him as an opener because
Opener.
he will. I agree
Actually, we
with
have the
Sahil,
first
he will
bid
struggle
for,
at the Kotla. His best chances to get runs.
He's
in
not
the
an
south.
opener. He's
It's
not
a
an
steal.
opener.
But he opened.
You can-
after 8 matches, they opened with him for 4 matches last year. Hyderabad-
SRH, now you're talking about.
Hyderabad,
But
yes.
it did not work.
Correct. But if you have, I agree, it's a steal deal. But to my mind, it's still 4 crores wasted by DC. If he's being picked, Licky Lelo, they're going to open with him because they need an opener. If they're batting him in the middle order,
Travis Head.
they're
Okay,
finishing
so
10 out
we
of
have a
10.
bidding war between
Yeah.
CSK and SRH for Travis Head.
There you go.
No, ये बहुत लंबा जाएगा.
Yeah.
He's a top buy, and I
10
think
to
there will
12
be
crores
other
probably?
teams.
10 to 12 crores probably.
I'm waiting to see who jumps in at what they
Yeah, somebody will jump in at
Yeah,
7 crores.
7 crores.
Exactly.
7 crores.
Yesterday, we discussed 2 franchises which desperately need
DC.
Travis Head.
DC was one of
and
them.
Hyderabad.
But no.
Correct.
But look, DC have now got Harry Brook, and if you're saying he's
DC
going to
now
bat in the
wouldn't
top
come in.
order,
Yeah.
If I'm saying,
If-
my gut feeling is,
no,
if,
I don't think so.
If they wasted 4 crores, they will get nothing out of batting.
But
in the middle
Jamie,
order.
if you have a Harry Brook, and if I'm saying Rishabh Pant is 50-50, just thinking, you are exhausting all your overseas slots in the batters. Who will bowl for?
But you
Delhi-
don't really need to play him.
David Warner,
if
if
don't need to
Rishabh
play
is
him in
in
every
every
match,
if,
no.
if they
don't
don't,
need to
if they
play him
don't,
every
like you
match.
just said, if they don't make a sudden bid for him, it's going to be David Warner, Harry Brook, and Mitchell Marsh are your top 3. उसके बाद lottery.
जिसका मतलब पृथ्वी शॉ का पत्ता कट.
जो होना भी
जो
चाहिए.
ना होना चाहिए. No, they might use him they might use him as
Impact
an
player.
impact player.
Correct,
But
correct.
I mean,
I just
no,
don't.
I still don't think Harry Brook as a top
Opener?
order batsman. I think he will bat at 5 or 6. जो Robin Powell उनको नहीं दे पाए,
और जो Riley Russo,
जो Riley Russo नहीं दे पाए. That is something that what DC will try and get.
Can Harry Brook, Srini, can he come at number 3 because you have David Warner, Mitchell Marsh probably opening or probably swapping Marsh 3 and
March, I think 3.
Harry
best
Brook
ever
opening?
team.
Probably that can
Rather
be the
than
lineup.
I don't see Harry Brook as an opener. That's
Yeah.
for sure. It has to be after that number 4
Yeah.
or number 5. I don't know if this was what Delhi was planning.
Yeah.
I think right now they've got him at a very good price, but now they have to figure out how to
figure out.
use him.
Yeah.
If CSK don't get Travis Head, if CSK get Travis Head, they're not going for Ravindra.
Correct.
Well,
Why they don't have place to play Ravindra? Yeah,
If
they
they
have.
can-
They
they
him
get
at
Travis
3,
Head
but if
already.
they get
No,
Travis Head,
shut
no
shop and go
Ravindra.
back home.
Yeah.
That's it.
So then Gaikwad doesn't open.
But Sahil, if they don't
No,
get
Travis had at 3 or what? Or Conway
Travis
at
had at 3.
Conway
Travis
at
had
3. Conway at 3.
They
No,
definitely
Conway
don't
opens.
experiment
Conway
with
opens.
opening
Conway
guards.
opens.
No. Travis had at 3.
3.
Travis
Conway,
Head, no, I'm saying
Conway and Gaikwad, they're not going to
And-
touch.
Okay, so they really need someone like Rachin Ravin right now, because they have Ravindra Jadeja and also Mitchell Sandner for left.
No,
And
they
not
don't.
just for left arm.
Mitchell Sandner, again, it's a problem. Where do they fit it?
No, I'm just saying you have him in the squad, right?
Look.
Already.
Look, we're talking about Rachin Ravindra. जब
Yeah.
हम उनकी बात करेंगे, you only have to talk about him as a batsman.
Batsman, yeah.
World Cup में his bowling did not set the stage alight. There's not much
But
there.
the flip side is that here it's only 4 overs. You
And what I-
you have
what-
that extra hand.
But you have
What I feel-
Ravindra
what I feel
Jadeja and you
looking at-
have Mitchell Santner.
Looking at
You
Moeen
don't-
Ali's availability, probably that is why they're going for Travis Head, because he can bat
No, but
left-handed
if they're
and
going
off
for
spinner.
Travis
And
Head,
off
then-
spinner.
then-
Off spinner,
Handy
yeah.
off spinner.
Then Rachin Ravindra was never in the scheme of things.
As
He's
a
still
problem,
very
No,
big
that was
batsman.
just that was just
Because you
that
had
was just discussion.
Probably two similar forte players already and experienced ones in the
No,
IPL.
that's what MS likes, right?
So that's what Chetan is
He
saying,
loves the
right?
battery of
You-
left arm
you
spinners.
don't go to a Ravindra expecting 4 overs.
Yeah.
दो
एक
तो ये भी डाल सकता है.
हाँ,
SRH
अच्छे डाल
So,
सकते हैं.
yeah,
SRH
exactly.
ने AirPods ले लिए. It used to irritate me a lot. They used to have those wired things. और वो भी एक कान में और वो दूसरा लटक रहा होता है. I am so glad to see that they are sitting with AirPods.
So what's the big news? They have the
have
AirPods or
AirPods.
Roman Paul going for 7.4 crores.
No, SRH have AirPods. SRH have AirPods. That was just so irritating for me to watch. But look, this is now 5.6 crores. This is I am still Srini. I am still waiting for somebody to enter at 7 crores. Let's take a guess. कौन enter करेगा?
DC probably.
DC probably.
Not DC was. Then you don't have any slot for a
The
bowler.
the bigger fan I am of RCB, probably RCB as well.
No, not RCB.
बहुत सारा पर्स दे दो.
RCB कहाँ खिलाएगा? नहीं खिला सकता.
But I'm still expecting him to go
RCB
for
has
at least
पैसा-
12,
पैसा तो
10
है.
to 12 crores.
पैसा है
Have they bought
RCB.
anything yet?
No, they haven't.
पैसा तो है.
Hyderabad will, I think, if no one comes in like Chetan is expecting, I think Hyderabad, because they
Hyderabad
need.
has that kind of a purse, no?
नहीं, but they're it's
Six.
always been दो ताबड़तोड़ opener और एक आपका गया.
Yeah.
तो बेयरस्टो के साथ ये lefty, and he's basically David Warner level ना.
Yeah.
Bearstow and Head. गजब.
And plus left-handed.
वही
No, Besto is there.
Best is
Punjab.
there.
Besto is Punjab Kings now.
अच्छा
with
वो
Punjab Kings. So
Punjab,
they
sorry,
have-
So
sorry,
they have
sorry.
Abhishek Sharma and Mayank Agarwal.
Mayank Agarwal, Abhishek Sharma,
Oh, then
Aiden
Head,
Markram,
Head.
and Glenn Phillips, Henrik Klaassen.
Chennai don't need him as much as Hyderabad need him.
I guess they're picking him for Moeen Ali.
SRH have a good middle order now. Klaassen, Phillips,
Klaassen, Phillips,
that's a good
Markram,
middle order.
ये जा रहा है
Abdul
भाई, ये
Samad.
जा रहा
6.4.
And also Washi. Can't
Washi,
forget
yeah.
him. He's
Washi
a
should
handy
bat
player.
it.
See, SRH भी if they
Marco
take-
Jensen as well.
if SRH get Travis Head, वहाँ पे भी overseas का issue है.
बड़ा issue है.
बहुत बड़ा issue.
है. कहाँ पे?
But
In
SRH.
SRH.
because you have नहीं आप देखो ना कितने भरे पड़े हैं आपके पास. You have Glenn Phillips, you have Aiden Markram, Marco Jensen, Henrik
But
Klaassen.
if you, he will.
Faruqi, if
No,
you
no,
want
he
to
will play. I'm
bowler
just
as well,
saying. I'm just
Faruqi.
saying कि there's a lot
Correct,
to
correct.
digest over there.
But their top order
Chennai-
is one
Chennai-
of the worst.
Chennai have 16 crores to play here, yaar. Because look, Ben Stokes you released for 16 crores. You literally have 16 crores to throw at this guy.
You do.
I probably feel
And-
they'll go for 10 to
and-
12 crores is the budget they'll
But
have
they'll-
for him.
No, I'm not saying
For
they will
Travis
throw
Head.
16 crores, but I'm saying they can
They
go to
can,
that much. But you have to see CSK. There are two franchises जिसके बारे में हम बात करें, चाहे MI हो चाहे CSK हो, they go long term. They don't think 2 years, 3 years down the line. If they take Travis Head today, they are talking retention.
Yeah.
They will be
Talking
thinking retention next. So from that perspective, they can happily go 10, 12 crores. I don't think SRH have a shot here. I'll be very honest.
Gone.
They've
They're
stopped.
out.
CSK's out.
CSK
They've
is out.
got him. So if anyone comes in at 7, like you predicted,
Yeah.
मजा आएगा.
CSK is out.
They're out.
SRH.
Oh my
SRH.
god.
Srini, if SRH gets him,
Wow.
you know,
It's a steal.
there's
boss. This is the real
it's a steal. But again, where do you play him? Like, how do you
Open.
open? But you have a
With
lot of
SRH with CSK that wasn't the deal.
Yeah.
But with
With
SRH,
SRH,
the
you open.
overseas
SRH
slot
is the
open,
first name on the
you
team.
have only 4 overseas slot. Then whom do you?
No, but see, that's the thing they will have to juggle. na?
right now with the kind of
And
the kind of options that they have,
And yes, he has gone to SRH.
Oh my
Travis
God.
Head
Travis Head,
I did not
stolen
expect
away.
Aiden
I
Markram,
did not expect that.
Klaassen.
Marco
Klaassen.
Jansen, Klaassen.
That's it.
Again, last time यहीं बैठे थे हम लोग, and I said on paper Hyderabad have a damn good franchise. but it didn't translate. So you have
Yeah.
to budget for that happening again.
Yeah, but the thing is, right now, if you look at their, अगर हम उनके 4 overseas गिनाएं अभी, that's Travis Head,
Travis Head.
Aiden Markram, who's their captain, Marco Janssen, and Heinrich Klaassen. These 4 start,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
You can bench
and then
Glenn Phillips.
Farouk, yeah.
yeah, and then
Faruqi as well.
you see how
Faruq
it
the-
goes. Fazal Haq, Faruqi भी हैं. So depending on marker, so आपका जो toss up रहेगा वो Marco Janssen, Fazal Haq, Faruqi और Glenn Phillips के बीच में रहेगा. So it just depends what kind of purchases they have. I think they need a spinner also. So that's at 7 CR, that's a steal. But I'm very surprised that CSK pulled out.
Okay, so looking at the all-rounder squad, Srini, Abhishek Sharma, Washington Sundar, Shahbaz Ahmed, they're all-rounders, and then they have Mayank Markande. They don't really need a part-time spinner. They have hell lot of them in the squad. So probably Travis Head can be used as an impact player just for the batting speed.
Possible.
You will play him as you will use a spin, yeah. Why use Travis Head as an impact player?
Impact
You will
player
keep him-
नहीं आप करोगे
I
ना,
don't think
overseas-
he's-
what do you have to say?
Yeah, because he brings a lot to the table.
Srini, what do you have to say?
Well,
Or
you
Travis
can't
Head.
definitely be using Travis Head is not your impact player, but I'm wondering with Sunrisers, the more I'm looking at the squad,
Yeah.
for me, their perennial problem has seemed to be the what you pick at the auction and how you kind of put them
Put
to
them in
use
this, yeah.
is like two different things.
Yeah.
Look at the way when they initially bought Washington Sundar. I have always felt that Sundar is not your tail ender.
Yeah.
It took them time to understand that
yeah.
Washington Sundar could have been played
next?
right up in the middle. So I think it's a case
Second
of
round
they
man.
not being able to identify.
Yeah.
Oh, finally MI is in the race
Karunar
for-
has gone unsold.
Unsold.
And now we have Steve Smith.
What MI are bidding for Steve Smith?
Did they put up a bid?
No, you just mentioned MI is there.
No, I saw-
Acha, okay.
So the camera panned to Rahul
Camera
Sanghvi,
pan,
but that doesn't mean anything.
So MI ने अभी तक कोई bid नहीं डाला है ना?
No. That
और
is
RCB ने भी नहीं
for the
डाला.
next
RCB
set.
ने भी
MI is waiting on
Yeah,
RCB.
yeah,
will
they-
take
they-
up
they
domestic
don't- they need
uncapped
bowlers.
players.
They need bowlers.
Nahi bike, Steven Smith.
Steve Smith unsold.
Steve Smith is
He
unsold.
might come back.
Huh?
DC
I
will get
doubt.
him.
I doubt.
DC will get him at base price.
Base price.
Last round. में.
Manish Pandey is the next
There
one
you
at
go.
base price 50
Ooh,
lakhs.
Manish Pandey.
Who you said KKR?
KKR and CSK.
You can
Not
have
CSK
him,
for
you know,
sure.
at
No,
50
you
lakhs.
need-
Not MS Dhoni.
You need. MS Dhoni is a big fan of Manish Pandey.
I doubt.
Big
Let's
fan.
see. Let's see.
That's just my gut feeling. I'm sure I can be wrong.
But again,
Abhi,
the kind of base
I
price
was wrong
that is,
live.
that can be a steal.
I literally said कि CSK will take Travis Head and SRH got him. So I can be proven wrong easily. So that's not a point.
I'm saying unsold.
Unsold.
Unsold, yeah, same here. I agree.
Massively overrated.
Or probably
Massively overrated.
they'll
I'd
go
stick
after
to
him.
No,
unsold.
DC have got him. DC have
No.
No,
this
DC
was the previous bid.
no DC. So they've put in a bid. No, they've put in a bid at
No,
base
they
price.
haven't.
They haven't.
They haven't.
They're just
Okay,
showing where
That
he
is
played
base
last.
price, 50 lakh.
Okay. No,
They
the
had him
previous.
last year,
Okay,
yeah,
Probably-
they released him.
Wait हो रहा है. आगे के
unsold.
probably after
Yeah,
unsold.
नहीं जाएगा.
15
Manish
years.
I
Pandey
think
is
I think
unsold.
they'll come back for
15
him.
years, 2 innings.
हो गया,
For now, he's
Manish Pandey.
unsold.
No, come on. 2 seasons he gave for KKR, yaar.
2 innings, 2 innings.
That season they won. He was really, and Gautam Gambhir was there. He was really consistent.
9 साल हो गए भाई उस बात को.
That's true.
Finished,
but
finished,
he's
finished.
had a good season, not just one inning.
2 innings. And they both
They can
came in
be-
that same season.
But Jamie, at that price, you can have him in the squad at least.
Okay, they've taken a break.
I don't have the
This
purse,
is why the
so
auction is
these franchises can have him run drinks for all I care. But if any team is featuring, no disrespect, someone like Manish Pandey in your plans, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Even if
We've been talking about a lot of teams, Srini, but Punjab Kings, what do they need? 29.1 crores, 8 slots, 2 overseas. They are pretty sorted.
And
They
hoping to buy Shah Rukh Khan back cheap.
probably for
Why
10
would-
crores.
Why are people still talking about Shah Rukh Khan? The kind of
Because
season he
they
had,
need an informed spinner.
because yes,
and he
yes,
picked the
his-
wickets.
His bowling has been more
More
being
talk
more
of the
talked
town.
about
Talk
than
of
his
the town,
batting. He had horrible seasons
So-
for Tamil Nadu in both Vijay
Correct.
Yeah.
What
Syed
is it
Mushtaq.
that Punjab need? They need a good top order batsman, right?
They have Shikhar, they have Prabsimran.
They
So I
have,
would-
they need
They've
an
got a
best-
last
investor.
year,
the
but
best
it's so
though.
dependent
The best
on
The
Shikhar
best. Oh.
Yeah.
to see them through. So they definitely need a backup option for Shikhar right up the order.
No, but when Bairstow returns, I think they're sorted there as well. But Jamie, just your thought on Manish Pandey thing. You haven't been a big fan of
No.
him. I think he has been the biggest underachiever when it comes to.
I also have.
Look,
The-
look.
I
So
have
here's my thing on Manish Pandey. At the age of 18 or 19, he becomes the first Indian centurion in
Yeah.
the IPL 2009. Chalo, fantastic. Did he ever give you returns on that? Chetan is right. He had that 1 or 2 good seasons, but both of his knocks, there was a 94 in one of the final, and there was an 80 80 odd. Beyond that, what's he done? He's actually lost KKR matches when they persist with him. He's lost SRH matches.
Yeah.
There were matches when he comes to the crease and the run rate was in control. And un crease pe reh ke, it's gone from 7 to 8 to 9 per 10. That to me is a red flag, you know.
Yeah.
Upar se he's not performing in domestic cricket. So there's really little to be gauged in this day and age. In 2024, which is when the IPL will be, if you're including Manish Pandey, personally, I don't think it'll work.
And Srini, no, it makes sense too, right? You wouldn't go for a Manish Pandey or instead go for an under 19 player like a Mushir Khan, who is like one for the future. You can actually groom for future
I
rather
would
than
go back
just-
looking for that 18, 19-year-old that Jamie mentioned that he saw in 2009, but not the Manish Pandey as of today. And I mean, you know, anybody who's seen the growth pattern, the growth chart between 2009 and over the years, will have nothing but disappointment to share, because here is, what happens is when you look at a promising career and then you see it unfolding in a manner which you hadn't perceived or which you thought was disappointing. Obviously, you're going to start looking at other options. So I think that's the case with Manish, that other than of course the numbers that speak for him. If you remember, two new franchises had come in 2010. The Sahara Pune Warriors, and where Manish had left an existing franchise to go away. All that, it was like, just the commercials of IPL had just taken over the cricketing logic, which I don't blame, of course. The point is, somewhere during that time, the path
player kind of
forward was lost.
Shani, IPL auction का मतलब blockbuster, 17 crore, 19 crore, 20 crore, 15 crore. In this IPL auction आपको क्या लग रहा है कि किस प्लेयर पे बहुत ज्यादा मार्क रहेगा या किस प्लेयर पे?
पहला प्लेयर 7.5 करोड़, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या सोच के खर्चा किया है राजस्थान रॉयल्स ने रॉबिन पॉल पे।
राजस्थान के पास बजट भी कम है, बहुत ज्यादा उनके पास पर्सनल वैल्यू भी नहीं है
जी, बट बजट कम है, लोगों के पास स्लॉट्स भी कम है, और दूसरा ये कि आप जो भी प्लेयर को यहाँ पिक कर रहे हो, हर फ्रेंचाइज देखना 1 या 2 स्लॉट फिल करने के लिए ये पार्टिसिपेट करिए ऑक्शन में, क्योंकि आप जिसको भी पिक कर रहे हो 3 महीने का बाद है वो फिर मेगा ऑक्शन में चला जाएगा। तो अगर आपके पास वो कोर तैयार है आपका, तो आप सिर्फ 1 या 2 प्लेयर को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए आप पिक कर रहे हैं।
चेतन, ओवरऑल अगर हम देखें इस पूरे ऑक्शन को
जी,
तो आई थिंक लग रहा है मुझे कि बहुत ज्यादा हर फ्रेंचाइजी के पास बहुत बड़े चेहरे नहीं है या फिर बहुत ऑप्शन नहीं, क्योंकि आपको ऑलमोस्ट जो साहिल कह रहे थे कि आपको प्लेइंग 11 डिसाइडेड है, आपको क्या करना है, किस तरह से प्लेइंग गेम लेके ले जाना है, आपको खेलना है। तो आई थिंक किस प्लेयर्स को आप देख रहे हो कि बहुत ज्यादा इस बार इस ऑक्शन में जो मिनी ऑक्शन है उसमें सबका जो पॉइंट है वो कैच करेगा?
देखिए मिनी ऑक्शन में क्या होता है कि आपके जो स्क्वाड हो गया, बड़ा स्क्वाड हो गया, देन यू स्टार्ट प्लगिंग द गैप्स, प्लगिंग द होल्स। और अब सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि 2 साल हो चुके हैं। आई थिंक दिस इज द फाइनल ईयर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर साइकिल, वी माइट हैव अ मेगा ऑक्शन नेक्स्ट टाइम अराउंड। तो अभी सबकी जो टीम्स हैं, स्क्वाड्स हैं, दे आर प्रीटी मच सेट। जो आज हमें ज्यादा मूवमेंट दिखेगी वो उन टीम्स में दिखेगी जिनके बॉलिंग लाइनअप सेट नहीं है। समबडी लाइक एन आरसीबी या मुंबई इंडियंस, इनके बॉलिंग लाइनअप सेट नहीं है, उन्होंने जो उनके पास एग्जिस्टिंग बॉलर्स थे रिलीज कर दिए। और हमारे पास हमने अगर आज हम ऑक्शन लिस्ट में देखें, जो टॉप डॉलर प्लेयर्स हैं ज्यादातर आपके ऑलराउंडर्स हैं, आपके स्पिनर्स हैं, वो भी स्पिनर्स में भी ओवरसीज स्पिनर्स हैं, और पेसर्स हैं। वहां पे 2 नाम आते हैं, हर्षल पटेल, शार्दुल ठाकुर। आई थिंक उनके ऊपर एक अच्छी बिडिंग होनी चाहिए आज। उमेश यादव हैं, ही हैज टन्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस। सो आई एम लुकिंग एट स्पिनर्स एंड पेसर्स। कुछ टीमें हैं जिनको थोड़े ज्यादा गैप्स प्लग करने हैं, डीसी हो गए, राजस्थान हो गए, जिनको एक एक्स्ट्रा बैटर चाहिए, केकेआर को एक्स्ट्रा बैटर्स चाहिए। बट ओवरऑल जो सिनेरियो है इस समय, यू आर प्लगिंग गैप्स, और द अदर थिंग इज दैट यू नीड स्पिनर्स एंड यू नीड पेसर्स, और वही ऑक्शन लिस्ट आपको दिखाता है। सो अ लॉट ऑफ टीम्स विल आल्सो बी प्रिपेयरिंग, क्योंकि उनका मैनेजमेंट चेंज हुआ है। आप मुंबई इंडियंस को देख लीजिए, कैप्टन चेंज हो गया है। So this is a year that they are saying, okay, you know what, Hardik, you come in, you take a look at the squad. Obviously, they would want to win. Everybody wants to win. लेकिन अगर वो नहीं भी जीते तो they'll get a start कि okay, ये squad कैसा है, इसमें अगले साल क्या करना है. Same thing goes for KKR. They've got Gautam Gambhir in. They'll take a look. They'll see क्या है, and then mega auctions में क्या कर सकते हैं. So a lot of building for the future, but at the same time plugging gaps in your current squad.
One of the things I realized was that KKR, they have the money. So if they want to kind of set in whatever
for next year, yes.
Even for this, the 2024 IPL, they have the money. So you were talking about how they fall short on that one big name,
Yeah.
either with the bat or the ball. They have the money to spend if they have identified who they want.
And they can spend that money for the long term as well. क्योंकि अगले साल जब आप retention पे जाओगे, assuming there's going to be retention and assuming there's going to be mega auction उसके बाद, तो उनके आज existing कौन हो सकते हैं? I'm thinking Shreyas, Nitish Rana, and Suyash. Suyash is a bet for the future. I'm sure they would not want to leave him out. उसके अलावा would they want to retain Andre Russell and Sunil Narayan? तब तो आप छोड़ दो. तब तो आज आप क्या कर रहे हो? Time waste कर रहे हो. So today they could get that big buy from the bowlers or the spinners who can be a future retention player for them.
Especially with someone like Chandu Pandit or Abhishek Nair in the at their thing. Few would understand India's domestic circuit better than Chandrakant Pandit. बहुत कम लोग होंगे आज की तारीख में जिन्होंने इस डेप्थ के साथ इंडिया के डोमेस्टिक सर्किट को देखा होगा. तो अगर मुशीर को अगर आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि यार अगले साल अगर मुशीर को ऑक्शन में डालोगे तो वो तो लंबा जाएगा. तो अगर हो सकता है इफ यू वांट टू बाय हिम चीप टुडे, हालांकि मेरा हमेशा से ये मानना रहा है कि रिटेंशन रूल्स चेंज होने चाहिए, बट दैट्स फॉर अनदर टाइम.
रिंकू सिंह भी हैं जो रिटेन होंगे उनके वहां पे, तो आई डोंट नो व्हाट आर दे गोइंग टू डू.
रचिन रविंद्र जी उन पे भी फोकस है ना. आपके आईपीएल में जो रूल्स आए हैं कि एक बॉलर 2 बाउंसर अब अलाउ कर सकता है, उसके बाद एक स्कोप नया बॉलर्स के लिए है जो आपने भी कहा स्टडी किया. बॉलर्स को देखना होगा कि कौन से बॉलर्स है जिनको इस मिनी ऑक्शंस में आईपीएल के जो ऑक्शन चल रहे हैं प्लेयर्स कैच करेंगे, टीम कैच करेंगी, ताकि न्यू रूल्स के अकॉर्डिंग उनको फायदा मिले. तो किस पे नजर होगी खासतौर पे गुजरात टाइटंस की अगर बात करें?
दोनों ऑस्ट्रेलियन पेसर्स, 2 ऑस्ट्रेलियन पेसर्स. मुझे लगता है कोई भी टीम हो यहाँ, मुंबई इंडियंस इंक्लूडेड, अगर आपको पेसर देख रहे हैं आप, ये बिडिंग वॉर अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ अगर होगा, ये दोनों के लिए होना चाहिए. कोई भी अगर पर्स लेके बैठा है.
मिचेल स्टार्क के लिए देयर हैज टू बी अ डाउट, क्योंकि इन द पास्ट या तो वो पुल आउट कर लेते हैं ऑक्शन से पहले, या फिर ऑक्शन में वो टीम से पैसा खर्च करवाते हैं, बड़ा पैसा खर्च करवाते हैं, and then he pulls out. So how many teams are going to say today कि listen, अगर आज इसने फिर से यही किया, I'm just giving, let's take Mumbai's example.
बिल्कुल सही.
Let's take Mumbai's example. पिछले 2 साल में they suffered, they really suffered because they don't have a proper pacer to support Bumrah.
Although I'm willing to think that once bitten twice shy, franchises will do their homework.
No, they would have spoken with him. There is no doubt. They would have spoken with him. और अगर वो इतने टाइम के बाद ऑक्शन में आ रहे हैं तो कुछ सोच कर ही आ रहे होंगे. But still, there's that factor. और अगर they obviously prepare more than us, they have more information than us. So I'm just saying कि अगर आज जो भी वो ऑक्शन लिस्ट में है क्योंकि फ्रेंचाइजीज को वो चाहिए, तो उन्होंने उनसे बात जरूर की होगी कि बॉस हम तुम्हारे ऊपर 10 करोड़ खर्च करने को तैयार हैं, but don't pull out and make a fool of us, because then ना हम यहाँ के ना हम वहां के, and there are teams there who would want him, लेकिन if he pulls out फिर वो कहीं के नहीं रहेंगे.
श्रेणी एक न्यूज ये भी रन कर रही है कि ड्यूरिंग आईपीएल जब होना है, मतलब शेड्यूलिंग आ रही है कि मार्च 2 और मार्च अप्रैल में जाएगा, उसमें लोकसभा इलेक्शंस भी रनी रहेंगे, तो कुड माइट बी पॉसिबल कि हम दुबई जा सकते हैं या खेल सकते हैं. तो उन पिच कंडीशंस को देखते हुए फिर आप क्या देखेंगे कि किस टीम पर बिडिंग ज्यादा होनी चाहिए?
मुझे T20 में बहुत कम आपको कॉम्बिनेशन आपकी क्या होती है 11 में, आपकी किस कॉम्बिनेशन को आप मैच में लेके जा सकते हैं, उस पर ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है. आप कहाँ खेलने वाले हैं उसका इतना मायने नहीं होता है. अगर आप सबकॉन्टिनेंट पे आप यूएई में भी खेलेंगे तो वो ऐसे काफी मतलब इट्स जस्ट दैट वो ओवर यूज हो जाती है पिचेस, क्योंकि वो 3 ही वेन्यूज पे आप खेलते हो, तो वो सेकंड लेटर हाफ ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट में अगर थोड़ा बहुत उसका फर्क पता लगने लगता है. बट मुझे नहीं लगता कोई फ्रेंचाइज इतना सोच के आज टीम खरीदेगी, नहीं. और हालांकि आई डोंट सी आईपीएल गोइंग आउट ऑफ द कंट्री आइदर, वो भी नहीं होगा.
जब फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं बात करना चाहूंगा डीडी, मतलब एक ऐसी टीम जिसके पास पोटेंशियल है, बस पोटेंशियल पे खेल नहीं पा रही है. तो डू यू थिंक डीडी इस बार कुछ सरप्राइज करेगी, सरप्राइज पैकेज के तौर पे जाएगी किसी टीम प्लेयर के पास?
ऑलरेडी हैरी ब्रुक जो है, मेरे हिसाब से अब स्टील डील तो है, बेस प्राइस 2 करोड़, डीसी गॉट हिम फॉर जस्ट 4 करोड़, बट आई स्टिल थिंक डीसी हैरी ब्रुक को लेकर क्या करेगी, राइट? ऑलरेडी हम लोग डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, चेतन एंड श्रीनी बिलीव कि वो मिडिल ऑर्डर में खेलेंगे.
बिल्कुल,
मैं कह रहा हूँ अगर आपने उनको सिर्फ 4 करोड़ में लिया है, इट्स अ स्टील डील, बट मिडिल ऑर्डर में वो नहीं चले पिछले साल, वो ओपनर के तौर पे नहीं चले. लेकिन डीसी की जरूरत है एक ओपनर की, राइट? जब से शिखर धवन गए, जब से श्रेयस अय्यर गए, बैटिंग हैज बीन वीक. अगर आप आज के टाइम पे 2024 में पृथ्वी शॉ को 10-12 मैच के लिए एज अ वायबल ओपनर लेके चल रहे हो, तो मेरे हिसाब से दिस इज शॉर्ट साइडेडनेस. आई थिंक गट फीलिंग, हालांकि स्टैट्स बोलेंगे कि हैरी ब्रूक इज बेटर इन द मिडिल ऑर्डर. आई थिंक अनलेस दे बिड फॉर अनदर कीपर, मे बी जॉश इंग्लिश या कुशल मेंडिस, अगर वो एक और विदेशी ओवरसीज बैट्समैन को नहीं लेंगे तो यू विल सी हैरी ब्रूक ओपन. बट लॉन्ग टर्म इसमें कोई विजन नहीं है. ऑन पेपर जब से पहले डीडी थे अब डीसी हो गए, जब से ये फ्रेंचाइजेस है, ऑलवेज कोई भी ऑक्शन देख लो, कोई भी सीजन देख लो, ऑन पेपर दिल्ली की टीम अच्छी होती है, पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली 15-16 साल में एक भी टाइटल नहीं जीत पाई. सो आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू से अबाउट
हमेशा आई सो एग्री विद हिम. इतने सालों के ऑक्शन में हर ऑक्शन जो खत्म होता है दिल्ली की टीम को आप देखते हो, लगता है यार क्या टीम है. वो फिर थोड़ा आपको टाइम लगता है वो डेप्थ समझने में.
साहिल, गुजरात के लिए क्या बोलेंगे? गुजरात टाइटल फर्स्ट आईपीएल उन्होंने शानदार जीता. अब कप्तान भी चेंज हो गया है, नए कप्तान उनके पास है, नई प्लानिंग उनके पास होगी. क्या इस वक्त गुजरात टाइटंस के पास पॉकेट भी बहुत बड़ा है अभी फिलहाल, तो क्या लग रहा है कि वो खुल के पैसा खर्च करेंगे या फिर थोड़ा सा वो भी होल्ड करेंगे? नहीं, प्लेइंग 11 डिसाइडेड है, 1-2 प्लेयर पे हमें जाना है.
आई थिंक पर्स सॉर्टेड है, पर्स बहुत है, पैसा बहुत है, और शॉपिंग करने के लिए उनका इंटेंशन भी रहेगा कि फास्ट बॉलर चाहिए. पैट कमिंस का जेमी ने अभी बोला था, रिसेंसी बायस भी है, एंड ही कुड बी अ हैंडफुल नरेंद्र मोदी स्टेडियम के अंदर, क्योंकि आईपीएल के अंदर जिस तरीके की विकेट्स वहां मिलती हैं, शामी एंजॉयड अ लॉट ऑफ सक्सेस लास्ट आईपीएल विद द न्यू बॉल, एंड Pat Cummins and Shami is going to be nightmare for any opposition. So Pat Cummins is definitely one option, and I think more than वो ऑक्शन में क्या करते हैं, I think सीजन से पहले क्या रहेगा, क्योंकि मेरी श्रीनी से भी बात हुई थी, चेतन से भी बात हुई थी कि इस आईपीएल से पहले शुभमन गिल जब बैटिंग कर रहा था, उसके ऊपर कैप्टनसी का प्रेशर नहीं था, उसके ऊपर स्ट्राइक रेट का प्रेशर नहीं था, उसको ये नहीं सोचना था मेरे को रन किस पेस पे बनाने हैं, क्योंकि शुभमन जाता तो नीचे जो बैटिंग आ रही थी, डेविड मिलर, राहुल तेवतिया, राशिद खान तक, कोई भी स्ट्राइक रेट का प्रेशर उस पर आने नहीं देता. तो अब शुभमन के ऊपर स्ट्राइक रेट का प्रेशर भी हो सकता है, कैप्टनसी का भी प्रेशर हो सकता है, डायनामिक्स चेंज होंगे. जो हार्दिक एक कॉटन की तरह बैठा हुआ था ना मिडिल ऑर्डर के अंदर, उसका रोल अब इस फ्रेंचाइज को रियलाइज होगा कि वो कितना अहम रोल उसने निभाया है, कि 4 नंबर पर आकर वो बैटिंग कर रहा था, जल्दी विकेट गिरती थी, 3 पे आता था. सो आई थिंक फास्ट बॉलर एक एरिया है जो वो जरूर टारगेट करने वाले हैं, वो जरूर लेने वाले हैं. पैट कमिंस की तरफ तो मुझे दिख रहे हैं वो जाते हैं. उन्होंने शिवम मावी को भी रिलीज करा है, उसको 5.5-6 करोड़ वहां पे भी उनके आई थिंक आ गए हैं. तो पैट कमिंस आई सी कि ये लोग बिड करेंगे, और इवन मधुशंका टू, क्योंकि जॉश लिटिल के साथ आप उसको भी वैरायटी में यूज कर सकते हो एज अ लेफ्ट आर्म फास्ट बॉलर.
चलो कुछ ऐड करना चाह रहे थे?
जब वर्ल्ड कप में ही गॉट इंजर्ड, तो उनकी भरपाई करने के लिए इंडिया हैड टू ब्रिंग इन 2 players. गुजरात टाइटंस नीड 2 players. Thankfully they have the budget for that. But वहाँ पे गुजरात टाइटंस में ये भी है कि वहाँ पे they have that leadership vacuum. So Pat Cummins obviously is a great choice for them to go for him, क्योंकि वो एक लीडरशिप रोल भी लेकर आएंगे, लीडरशिप एक्यूमेन भी लेकर आएंगे. बट सिर्फ उनके बैटिंग और बॉलिंग की भरपाई करने के लिए यू नीड 2 सुपर प्लेयर्स, एंड या गुजरात विल हैव टू यूज देयर मनी वेरी वेरी जुडिशियसली.
आई एग्री विद दैट पॉइंट. यू नीड एक तो आपको तगड़ा बॉलर चाहिए
और एक बैट्समैन चाहिए,
विकेट टेकर,
और आप जिस भी और तरीके से आप भरपाई कर ले, बट हार्दिक के एब्सेंस में आपको एक तगड़ा बॉलर तो चाहिए, वन गुड बॉलर. And then of course, second option that you have, you go
and
for a
batsman भी अच्छा चाहिए,
you're
क्योंकि
going for a batter or
like
an all-rounder.
Sahil pointed out, he didn't bat at 5 and 6 like he batted for India. तो आपको एक फिनिशर नहीं चाहिए, आपको एक इनिंग्स बिल्डर चाहिए, जो नंबर 3 और 4 पे रोल करेगा.
सेशन में किया था गुजरात टाइटंस के.
बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली. सो उन्होंने टॉप 4 संभाला है गुजरात टाइटंस का, जो उनको फ्रीडम गुजरात टाइटंस में मिली थी टू परफॉर्म विद द बैट, विद द बॉल, एज कैप्टन. I don't know if 3 प्लेयर को भी अगर खरीद लेंगे, that is going to be enough to replace him or not.
जिसकी बात हम कर रहे थे, रविंद्र.
Finally,
I think अमृत रचिन से पहले biggest उनाटकट movement has actually happened. वनिंदु हसरंगा from 10.75 crores, 1.5 crore base price SRH को मिल गया.
वनिंदु हसरंगा.
Yes.
और did RCB even?
No one, just the base bid. SRH, the only bid. 1.5 crore.
even I thought I saw the SRH owner saying what?
हाँ, मतलब she couldn't believe her luck.
And Jimmy,
This is what RCB does to a player.
लेकर क्या कहेंगे? क्या चेन्नई, गुजरात, इनको एक ऐसा प्लेयर चाहिए जो पार्ट टाइम बॉल भी कर ले, अच्छा फील्डर भी है और एक बैट्समैन टॉप क्लास है.
अगर एक फ्रेंचाइज है जो एक
रचिन रविंद्र
पार्ट टाइम स्पिनर स्लैश बैट्समैन हु बॉल्स को सही तरीके से इस्तेमाल कर
You can always rotate players, no?
बिकॉज ऑफ द MS धोनी फैक्टर. अब जो रोल मोइन अली पिछले 3 साल से निभा रहे हैं, ज्यादातर 3 पे आते हैं, बॉल्स 4 ओवर्स. चेन्नई में अगर आप 50% मैचेस उस चेन्नई पिच पे खेल रहे हो, तो समवन लाइक रविंद्र मेक्स परफेक्ट सेंस. आल्सो थोड़ा डाउट है कि मोइन अली पूरे सीजन में रहेंगे. मोइन अली मेरे हिसाब से फिर भी उनका ओवरसीज स्पिन बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर रहेंगे, लेकिन इंजरी हो या कुछ भी हो गया, अगर रविंद्र आपके बैकअप ऐसे प्लेयर हैं क्योंकि ओपनिंग कर सकते हैं, 3 पे खेल सकते हैं, फिनिशर बन सकते हैं, गन फील्डर है, हाँ शायद 4 ओवर ना डाले बट स्टील डील।
वर्ल्ड कप में आने से पहले 50 ओवर क्रिकेट में तो वो 6 और 7 और 8 पे ही खेलते थे, तो वो मिडिल ऑर्डर तो आराम से वो
कोई इससे बैकअप प्लान को लेके जाएगा रचिन को, मतलब इवन कोई भी फ्रेंचाइजी होगी तो उसे तो टॉप गियर में लेके आना चाहिए कि नहीं,
अगर वो
बैकअप में नहीं हम टॉप गियर में लेके आएंगे।
बाकी 9 फ्रेंचाइजेस ये लागू है, पर क्योंकि सीएसके ना दे कैन एक्चुअली कीप हिम एज अ बैकअप प्लान, क्योंकि मोस्ट लाइकली वो लॉयल्टी और सीनियरिटी के फैक्टर में मोइन अली को ज्यादा चांस देंगे। पर अगर मोइन अली का हल्का सा निगल हुआ या बेन स्टोक्स वाला किस्सा हो गया, you've got a damn fine upcoming all-rounder to do it. तो एक ही फ्रेंचाइज है जो शायद इनको अगर खरीद लें उनको प्लान बी में रखेंगे, बाकी ऐसा कोई फ्रेंचाइज नहीं है।
श्रेणी, डू थिंक कि गुजराती रचिन को लेकर आगे बढ़ेगा या फिर डू थिंक कि पंजाब?
मैं देख रहा हूँ पंजाब क्या करना चाहता है।
मतलब
पंजाब अगर राइट नाउ किसी को अगर टॉप ऑर्डर बैट्समैन की जरूरत है, डेस्परेट नीड है, तो वो पंजाब को है। आप शिखर धवन से कितनी मेहनत करवाओगे? शिखर धवन के अलावा मुझे उस लाइनअप में कोई दिखता ही नहीं है जो ऑन अ गिवन डे आपको मैच निकाल के दे। तो लास्ट ईयर आई थॉट यू नो इट
बेस्ट तो है।
Best
I mean, depending on his availability, and English
Correct.
players
Yeah,
might not
I
be
mean,
available this time around.
तो मुझे तो वो देखना है how do they lessen
we weren't
Shikhar's
discussing
pressure.
Rachin. We weren't discussing Rachin for Punjab, but now when I think about it, he could be a very good player for them.
100%.
At 3 or
And they've
at
got the
top
money
of
to
the
do
order, I
that.
think they can definitely go like
And they've got
hammer and tongs for Rachin
बट
Ravindra.
एक बात देखो ना साहिल, जब से स्क्रीन पे आया 2.5-3 मिनट हो गया ना, बेस इतना आगे नहीं गया, so he's not one of those players जो मैंने कल
उतना
कहा
demand
था,
में नहीं।
he's not going to be a big player like you asked me ना। चेन्नई will get him for a steal deal, और भले ही उसको स्टार्ट ना कराएंगे, if he goes for anything under 4 crores,
But then it
it's a
doesn't make
steal.
sense.
I don't see
Jamie,
him at Chennai. I
one
don't
of
see
the
him at
things is
Chennai.
और कोई bowling
As in, नहीं
one of the things is you know
Titans है ना?
you buy a player not having in your plans, it doesn't make sense because it's only for one
Titans.
season.
It's with CSK and Titans at the moment. No,
CSK Titans,
CSK,
before Titans
Punjab.
RCB,
RCB. नहीं,
before Titans RCB.
No, Titans didn't bid for him.
look ना, Titans is there.
अभी right now ना,
They bid for him.
CSK Punjab.
Now
the
they're
bid is
out.
with CSK 1.8.
तो I can't read.
The bid is with CSK at 1.8. Punjab were at 1.7.
आप इस पे 1.80 खरीद के आप इसको बेंच पे रख सकते हो।
मतलब बैकअप प्लान के तौर
Backup.
पे आप उसको कंसीडर करें।
ले गए भाई, ये हो गया स्टील तो।
CSK,
स्टील
yeah, CSK.
Why did Punjab stop?
Super
At 1.8 crore?
only.
इससे ना
मतलब
पता
ये
सब
Seriously? You know what? I'll just complete this. मुझे जो last mega auction में जो trend दिखा था, I'd like to reiterate that, and that is going to be the trend looks like this time again and going forward. Have a core. अगर आपके पास core आपके पास है, तो just go in for absolute newbies. अगर आपका core तैयार है तो.
You know, अभी जिमी ने जो बात कही, why चेन्नई सक्सेसफुल इतना IPL में क्यों है? Because टीम वो रेडी करता है फ्यूचर का। Just like उन्होंने around 2 CR खर्च किया है रचिन पे, लेकिन वो बैकवर्ड प्लान पर है कि नहीं, देखते हैं खिलाते हैं अगले साल, लेकिन अगले साल उसके अगले साल के लिए प्लेयर रेडी कर रहा है कि हाँ, अगर मोइन चले जाएंगे तो कौन आएगा, तो रचिन उसकी भरपाई करेंगे, रचिन होंगे उसके फिलर होंगे उसके तौर पे। तो एक जो कहते हैं ना कि फ्यूचर,
हाँ, बट आप वही CSK को जब MSD स्क्वाड से बाहर निकल जाएंगे तो उनको फ्रॉम स्क्वायर वन उनको फिर से शुरू करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि फिर उनके स्क्वाड में जो लंबे रेस की जो आप घोड़े जो बोलेंगे वो ऋतुराज गायकवाड़, वो एक नाम आप देख लीजिए। उसके अलावा उनको पूरे स्क्वाड की तैयारी फिर करनी है, क्योंकि वो काफी ऐसे एक डेविन कॉनवे है जो एज वन ओवरसीज प्लेयर वो रिटेन कर सकते हैं।
हम अभी तक सोच रहे हैं कि सारे हम अभी तक सोच रहे हैं ना कि इतनी छोटी बिड्स क्यों लग रही हैं, because it's going to be about the bowlers and all rounders and spinners, and now we are getting I think this could be the first mega buy today. Look at the speed today. This is going to increase.
हैदराबाद, चेन्नई,
शार्दुल, चेन्नई missed out on शार्दुल earlier क्योंकि उनका पर्स खत्म हो गया था मेगा ऑक्शन में।
Yeah.
So they will try to get him back, क्योंकि वो जो बैलेंस देते थे, and MS Dhoni is a big fan of शार्दुल।
in T20 अगर आपके पास ऑलराउंडर है,
जी बिल्कुल,
आप टॉप गियर पे हो।
हाँ, लेकिन CSK has this thing ना कि हमारा प्लेयर वापस आना चाहिए हमारे पास। They will also go for Josh Hazelwood today. They will try to, limited availability है, but they'll still
Yeah.
try to go for
Gone.
it.
But I just don't think he's going to break the
SRH just
bank.
folded up.
This is
Somebody else will enter. Has to. Just
Nahin.
3.2.
Who are they saving money for? Starc can't go for 20, boss.
No.
That will be
Like, who are they
madness.
saving the
What
money
is
for?
running?
Pat and Starc.
Punjab could have gone for Rashid.
शार्दुल का होना किसी भी टीम के लिए बेनिफिट ही है मतलब डेथ ओवर में
हाँ,
जब
कटर
शार्दुल
वटर
खेला भी था,
LSG.
चेपॉक में तो एकदम गोल्ड है शार्दुल, चेपॉक पे तो गोल्ड है.
तो मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, हैरी ब्रुक 4 करोड़, शार्दुल 3.2. We can sit here.
They are
No,
ready
3
for
point-
it. I think LSG no.
जिन्हें आपकी
LSG
बात-
पे
आपकी
कैमरा
बात
गया
सुन ली,
था.
चेन्नई ने आपकी बात सुन ली है, उन्होंने पर्स खोला
But
थोड़ा
who
सा।
is there in the race along with
SRH.
SRH.
pulled out.
नहीं,
SRH.
SRH.
No, SRH is there.
Hyderabad.
SRH is there.
So they should just pick the paddle.
Yeah. SRH is there.
Four
SRH is there.
Yeah.
4 हो गया.
4 हो गया।
चलो.
The
4
second
is
match
out.
on the
They're
second
out.
time telling you
They're
why
out.
she did
हाँ,
this.
पहले she
Yeah.
also did
It's
that.
अगर
Yes,
दोनों
it
ये
is.
कर रहे हैं, मना कर रहे हैं, तो तीसरा कौन है?
नहीं यही तो.
LSG पे they panned the camera, but I
एक
don't think
बढ़िया
LSG
फिल्म आई थी,
entered.
तीसरा कौन याद है शेनी?
I don't see LSG. See LSG is there. They are discussing it. LSG पहले भी discuss कर रहे थे.
नहीं LSG ने bid ही नहीं करा भाई.
नहीं, still bidding is on.
LSG did not.
Where are you seeing this? What happened?
This is.
गए
गए,
4 में,
super kill.
मात्र 4.
चेन्नई।
4 करोड़ चेन्नई.
I
Not
can't
bad,
believe this.
not bad at all.
I can't.
No, so even yesterday when you were saying it, I 100% I get the logic of Chennai wanting him.
Chennai
But-
wanting him, but at
बिल्कुल,
4,
but-
getting him at 4 crore.
I didn't see him going beyond 6 at all.
4 crore is measly.
It is measly, but I'm not surprised at all.
अगेन क्या थॉट प्रोसेस होगा चेतन शार्दुल को लेकर चेन्नई का?
नहीं,
plan
I
है?
think they, like I said, Chennai is a team जो उनके players हैं, जो उनको पता है कि ये
Fixed
player
है,
हमें
playing
balance
eleven.
देता है. 2 साल पहले शार्दुल को वो नहीं ले पाए थे. They had to choose between Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur, and I think they chose wrong in that auction. क्योंकि दीपक चहर उसके बाद इतना इंजर्ड रहे, इतना नहीं दे पाए. और शार्दुल का आप देखो पिछले 2 सीजन्स, he's been at DC, he's been at KKR, मतलब वो ऐसे लग रहे हैं ना कि उनको अपना घर नहीं मिल रहा है. मतलब होता है ना, एक परिंदा उड़ रहा होता है, उसको अपना घर नहीं मिलता है. I think this is a good homecoming for him. He does well at Chepauk. MS Dhoni really likes him, you know, the kind of player he is, and जो वो balance देंगे. Bowler, 4 overs, and a very useful lower order batsman who can hit big. I think he will be at home at Chennai. This is a huge buy for Chennai.
अजमतुल्लाह
Umar Zai, GT.
GT 50 लाख
50 lakh.
बेस प्राइस पे।
No, I think fill in the blanks.
No, I think he's a good batsman.
He's a good batter, but you can't call him an all-rounder. He's an
No,
he
they need
bowled well in the
batters
World
also.
Cup.
They
He
need
did.
batters also. They need
No, he
batters
did.
also.
तेंदुलकर
No,
ने भी
Pat
एक commit
Cummins
किया था.
टू सिया
हाँ,
जिसकी बात हम कर रहे थे।
अब आएगा
अब
मजा.
ये देखना है कि
अब
पैट
है।
कमिंस
Let's
Yeah,
get the
this is-
popcorns out.
हाँ, this is अगर ये भी 5 करोड़ में चले गए ना, तो भाई आज का दिन
Then the
नहीं,
teams
आज
have
का
become smarter.
हाँ, they have become this is a trend कि आज हम खर्च नहीं करेंगे पैसा. I mean, I can't believe Robin Powell is going at 7 crore and Shardul Thakur has gone for 4
मैं
crores.
वही कह रहा था, हम इतना सोच के आते हैं, ये लोग अलग सोचते हैं ये लोग. GT
केकेआर
KKR क्यों ले? I mean,
KKR had him पहले ना.
Yeah.
They released him the season he was not available.
ये फोटो कब की यूज कर रहे हैं?
काफी साल पहले.
मुंबई
Mumbai, there you go.
चेन्नई
Mumbai.
चेन्नई
big
मुंबई का तो कल
Mumbai make their first move. They need the bowler.
They
They need the
they don't
bowler.
have
Yeah. Mumbai have entered the fray.
ये जो कल कहा चेतन ने शो पे कि ये पहला 15 वाला हो सकता है.
But
It's
Mumbai don't
building.
have 15 to throw.
Mumbay नहीं, but your
Huh, but yeah,
GT.
yeah, I did pick him for
late
15.
bid, GT.
Yeah, I did pick him for 15 crores.
Yeah.
If
Well,
he goes for anything
I won't be
less
surprised
than
if Mumbai put
Under 10.
every bit on this.
under
10.
10, no, that would be mad if he goes for
Well,
under 10.
I would be surprised if Mumbai put literally 70% of their.
Yeah, I won't be either. Mumbai have done that in the past.
Yeah.
They've done that
Yeah.
in the past.
देखिए पिछले
You
दो-
remember the mega
It just
auction?
makes sense for them to get a good fast bowler at
You-
whatever price.
You remember the mega auction? जब ईशान किशन के लिए they threw in 16 crores and then built the rest of the team with those छोटा players. They've done that before.
देखो आपको एक बेहतरीन
The one
बॉलर
thing,
मिल रहा है, आपको एक गन फील्डर मिल रहा है,
So
और
right
ऐसा
now it is
बैट्समैन मिल रहा है
between Chennai and
कि
Mumbai,
साल
right?
में एक बार he'll
Yes,
get to
Chennai
a
and
14
Mumbai.
ball 50. So
this is the
And he's a captain,
next
यार,
Ben
वो
Stokes
चाहिए,
moment. This is the Ben Stokes moment from last year as well.
And-
No.
Srini after
Am I tried for Ben Stokes?
I still feel between Cummins and Starc, MI will prefer Starc.
सुनी हम जो बात कर रहे थे आफ्टर एमएस आप किसको देख रहे हो कि चेन्नई सुपर किंग्स को लीड कर पाए बिकॉज चेन्नई
So
के
I
लिए सब
have
कुछ
said
लीड
this.
होगा
I have been saying this for a couple of years now. Ruturaj Gaikwad is their next captain.
But if I can add, what obviously I agree with him. Ruturaj Gaikwad is their potentially their next captain. लेकिन मैं यहाँ पे MI ने जो किया, मुंबई इंडियंस ने जो किया, उससे लेना चाहूंगा. उन्होंने गेम चेंज कर दी है. What did they do? They went to another team. They bought a captain in the middle of a cycle. Retain बहुत दूर की बात है. अभी 1 साल बचा है इस साइकिल में. They went. They got an IPL title winning captain कि हमें ये चाहिए. They changed the game. उन्होंने कहा कि ये करा जा सकता है. So tomorrow CSK might say, okay, you know what? We need somebody who's proven, who's done well at this game. What is stopping them from doing that? What is stopping any team from doing that? I agree with
ये
Srini.
न्यू पैटर्न स्टार्ट है
ये एक गेम चेंजिंग मोमेंट है आईपीएल के लिए, आईपीएल की मार्केट के लिए, जो हम ट्रांसफर विंडो की मार्केट होती है उसके लिए दिस इज अ गेम चेंजिंग मोमेंट. एमआई हैज चेंज्ड द रूल्स और आप ये चीज एमआई से ही एक्सपेक्ट करोगे बिकॉज out of the box thinking and they are really good at what they do, and I'm just giving an example. In the future, not just CSK, anybody, but no, there's no stopping if Ruturaj Gaikwad doesn't work out.
And also,
Then maybe
see, it's also a case of demand will always match supply. Right. So
True.
What you want, what is available vis-a-vis is the player ready to come. I think one of the biggest unaddressed problems with IPL in the player market is that nobody seems to be giving a lot of importance to what does the player want. And I think in the
7.4,
I think both these teams could well be locking in their future captain option.
Mumbai had
exactly.
Mumbai is out, but both Chennai and RCB could well be looking at their next captaincy option too.
No, I mean Faf is
No,
going
no,
to
no.
Faf is there for next 4 years.
Faf kahin nahi
Jimmy,
ja
Faf
raha
kahin nahi ja raha.
4 years. Not 4 years.
4 years easy. Look at his fitness.
चाहिए पर वही बात जो हो रही है फाफ से फिर भी आपको वो
Chennai
काम
Super
कर सकते
Kings,
हैं.
I always see captain will be Indian.
I don't know, ये हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं लॉन्ग टर्म विजन
SRH
की.
are
अभी
back?
SRH
एक
No,
बड़ा
they
ऑप्शन
never
आएगा.
entered.
SRH
पूरा change
entered
हो
at
सकता है.
8 crores.
8.540 मुंबई इंडियंस
Mumbai are saving for Starc then.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
I
saving
said,
for Starc.
MI
They
will
have
want
to get
Starc.
Starc.
बट श्रीनी भाई आप
Both.
कह रहे हो-
Both.
Koji
I am-
and
Or even-
Starc.
They can get both.
I
I'm
think
with
Madhu
Chetan.
Shankar too. Madhu Shankar too.
I'm with
Yesterday
Chetan on
we
Mitchell Starc
calculated.
entirely.
Yeah.
कि मैं समझता हूँ कि वो क्या लाते हैं लेकिन कुछ
You're taking a punt.
Alyssa Healy gets injured, something happens, he's always by her side. There's always, I agree with what you said कि hopefully discussion जो है कि भैया हम 10 करोड़ देंगे, वादा चाहिए, but Mitchell Starc is just unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
10 CR.
बोला ये इसको नहीं मिलेगा 10 CR तो किसको मिलेगा? नहीं किसको मिलेगा?
अमृत इस पूरे साल इसने जो छुआ वो सोना बन गया.
नहीं
WTC champion.
It's not
World
just
Cup
about
champion.
this year.
Recency bias always factors.
Yeah,
in.
that's true. But this guy, I mean,
And Hyderabad.
2018 का जो इंडिया का टूर था ऑस्ट्रेलिया का, he
MI
performed
ने मना कर दिया?
so well.
Yeah,
MI
MI
back
pulled
out.
out
MI back out.
बहुत पहले.
Who is
MI
out
pulled
here,
out at
stop.
4.6.
that is
They pulled
RCB.
out or stopped?
Long time back.
No,
long
they
time.
stopped.
They
like
pulled out
They
before
said we are
SRH.
not interested.
Yeah.
But
They pulled out before SRH.
But nothing stops them from.
Pat Cummins will finish as one of the greatest Australian cricketers ever.
ये तो लग रहा है
So-
कि मुझे 12 CR हो चुका है लेकिन ये
वो बढ़ा नहीं रहे हैं. ग्राफिक में कोई इशू है I guess.
I mean, this is just slightly off topic, लेकिन अभी जो चेतन ने बात कही ना, अब आप सोचते हो लोग भूल गए ये बंदा 6 साल से क्रिकेट से बाहर था because of a back
12 CR with
6
sorry,
years
SRH.
Pat Cummins did not play cricket.
12
He
CR
would already
with
been a
SRH.
great.
No, he is
No, he is,
he's
but I'm
going to
saying
finish as an all-time Australian great.
6 साल he didn't play cricket.
Yeah.
Imagine.
And the last time I went to Australia last year for the T20 World Cup, the public perception was against him with
Yes,
what
I know.
with what happened with Justin Langer. Within 12 months, पूल बिल्कुल काया पलट गई है. आपने देखा होगा किस तरीके से प्यार मिला है ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम को for that best test. और पर्थ में ही सबसे ज्यादा अगेंस्ट है this Australian side, this Australian leadership, because Justin Langer is from Perth, right? From Western Australia. लेकिन वो रिवर्स कर दिया है.
14?
This guy is
डू यू थिंक कि ये क्या
15 crores. मैंने कल शाम को बोला 15 crores. कल शाम को हम
पे
पैट कमिंस 15
डिजर्व
crores.
है, डिजर्विंग प्लेयर है. मिलना चाहिए।
The
लेकिन-
most un-Australian Australian captain ever. The
वो
most
है ना, वो-
un-Australian
हाँ,
Australian captain.
इनको नहीं मिलेंगे तो किसको मिलेंगे?
14
It's just the franchise is surprising me.
I just don't want him to go to RCB.
So RCB ka overseas quota is done na
Yeah,
at the auction
yeah,
table. You have Maxwell, Faf, Cameron Green and
Pat Cummins.
Oh,
हो गया.
wow.
But that's a great quota. That's a
That's
great
quite a good-
लेकिन
great
आपने जो
quota.
कल अगर बीट लगाई है तो 15 प्लस हो चुका है।
Called it.
साहिल सरप्राइज या फिर ये
no,
था
not
कि-
at all surprised
Man,
because
it's
see
there.
जो
Nobody seems to be done yet.
जो दो
Yeah.
टीम्स हैं उनके पास पैसा है और उनको चाहिए भी है, तो वही ना ऑक्शन के अंदर वो डिमांड सप्लाई वाला रूल एकदम मिनी ऑक्शन में परफेक्ट।
Okay, this is
Apply
going
होता है।
past 20, it looks like.
16.50
18 तक जाएगा. 18 जाएगा.
18.
तो 18 जाएगा तो इट मींस गुजरात टाइटंस के पास ज्यादा पर्स है। हैदराबाद गुजरात टाइटंस
Who entered?
No,
No, nobody-
अब तो ये दोनों
SRH
रनिंग 17
Oh my God.
17.25 17
Oh,
17.50
Oh wow. What is the
I
highest
think
figure?
IPL highest 17.50 था।
18.5
18.5 था. Sam Curran.
Curran पिछले साल
He'll beat it.
हो गया,
Oh
हो गया,
wow.
compared
18.
18.25
डैनियल विटोरी सोच रहा है यार
18.5. 18.5. 18.5. Oh, 18.75.
highest player
19.
हो गया
19.
highest
19.
Pat Cummins.
19. Pat Cummins.
IPL का सबसे महंगा खिलाड़ी।
Good lord, that's a lot of money.
हम इससे कह रहे थे कि मिनी ऑक्शन है।
ये तो
19
बम्पर हो
CR.
गया।
ओ वो
19.50
19.50
श्रेणी 20 होगा पार
20 नहीं ये क्या हो रहा है?
ले
बॉस पर्स कितना है इन लोग का?
है ना?
पूरा
आरसीबी
खाली
के पास
करेंगे
23
हो गया,
करोड़ है
करना
सिर्फ।
क्या?
हाँ तो RCB does this thing, no?
Chak touch.
20
तो 21 पे शगुन कर दो यार।
Who took it? Who took it?
KKR है? Who's going?
No, it's 2025 boss, it's still going.
It's still going, but RCB has to pull out at some point.
RCB
They need a
has to-
spinner. They need a spinner.
No, they got Mayank Dagar na trade
Wow.
window
Mayank Dagar is going to will them the IPL. हाँ, IPL तो वैसे भी नहीं जीतना RCB ने.
final.
So you're right. क्यों Jamie?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can throw all 23 crores
बिल्कुल.
because they don't need anybody else.
बिल्कुल
No, I mean, everybody needs a good bowler, so why not?
But you also need a good spinner, no? They released Hasranga, they released Harshal Patel. अब सिराज और पैट कमिंस के
There. RCB is going. When it,
RSH is also going.
श्रेणी आपने इतना वो ऑप्शंस देखे हैं वो ये क्या एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है आपको भी?
well, I
RCB.
guess teams are like willing. What it's telling
वो-
me is कि अब ऐसा है कि पैसा है, पैसे खर्चने भी हैं, but value चाहिए और legacy चाहिए.
कहते भी है ना कि जब वो ऊपर वाला देता है ना तो चप्पल फाड़ के देता है, तो यही पैट कमिंस के साथ भी हो रहा है। खुद उन्हें यकीन भी नहीं हो रहा होगा कि मेरे ऊपर इतनी बड़ी आई जा रही है 20.5 करोड़ यार।
Last time also when he was part of IPL 15 crore में गए थे.
RCB are done.
Obviously they have to be. At some point they will have to be. They need a lot of players. They don't have bowlers. And I'm assuming they want to win the IPL.
No, I think if they could have got Cummins, so it would have been Siraj, Cummins, Akashdeep, Mayank Dagar and Karan Sharma
that-
and Cam Green and Maxwell.
Yeah, that still doesn't win you the IPL.
अभी
क्या
हैदराबाद
होगा?
के पास 26 CR का बजट था, इन्होंने इसमें
20-50
खर्च कर दिया। 20-50 खर्च कर दिया हैदराबाद ने, 4 के राउंड बचा उनके पास भी। मतलब फ्रेंचाइजी ने माइंड मेकअप किया हुआ है कि मुझे इस प्लेयर को लेना है।
जी, होमवर्क
I
तो
hope
पूरा
that-
होता है ना।
Similar होगा स्टार्क के साथ भी। अब इसका इतना हो
But
गया
इससे
है
तो
तो
बट उसमें मुंबई बाहर नहीं जाएंगे। उसमें मुंबई बाहर नहीं
बाहर नहीं
जाएंगे।
जाएगा और आरसीबी भी नहीं
Oh my
जाएगा।
God,
तो
this
आरसीबी
is-
can push MI to the limit when it comes to Starc now.
This is crazy.
मुंबई इंडियंस के
Gerald
पास
Coetzee. So how much did he go for, Pat Cummins?
20.5.
20.5.
Oh my God. The highest ever in IPL,
Yeah,
right?
by
Highest
by 2 crores.
by 2 crores. Wow.
बेस प्राइस 2 करोड़ था ना पैट कमिंस का। ना मुंबई इंडियंस के पास जो पॉकेट है वो अराउंड 18 CR का है। अब जो हम बात कर रहे हैं लखनऊ जेंट्स, वो तो छोड़ी दो उनके लिए। गुजरात टाइटंस अभी तक बहुत ज्यादा पैसा उन्होंने खोला नहीं है, क्यों?
I don't know. I thought जैसे कि मैंने कहा था, I thought ये पैट कमिंस के पीछे भागेंगे क्योंकि एक तो वर्ल्ड क्लास ऑलराउंडर आपको कैप्टन चाहिए। I don't know who they're going to, because like we've discussed, हार्दिक पांड्या को आप 2 प्लेयर से रिप्लेस
Yeah.
करते हो। But that captaincy vacuum, I mean, I know Shubman Gill is there, but you need someone more experienced. तो देखते हैं भी किसके पास जाएंगे? है ही नहीं कोई और ऐसा कोई एक्सपीरियंस ऑलराउंडर ना।
Okay.
RCB के
MI
पास around
are in the
25
race.
24 CR है।
MI have entered and CSK have entered. So I was expecting कि MI will go for Gerald Coetzee क्योंकि उनको
Yeah.
पेसर्स चाहिए।
चाहिए।
मिचेल स्टार्क और जेराल्ड कोत्जिया दोनों पे उनकी नजर रहेगी। कल शाम को हमारा प्रीव्यू शो था, उसमें
How
हमने ये
old
बात
is
किया था।
Coetzee?
25
No, 23, 24, 23,
yeah, so
23.
Makes
MI
sense.
will
Makes sense.
definitely go
Makes
for him.
sense.
आज MI लगभग 2 ओवरसीज पेसर और एक इंडियन पेसर पे
23. He's 23.
23.
या तो नजर बनाएंगे। ऑप्शंस हैं जेराल्ड कोत्जिया, मिचेल स्टार्क, मधुशंका, उमेश यादव और शिवम मावी। इन 5 में से आई थिंक उनकी नजर 3 पर जरूर है आज।
Mavi, I think, is going to either KKR or LSG. Strong hunch.
Wherever he's going, but I'm sure MI will be interested in him as well.
Yeah, Karthik Tyagi too.
कार्तिक त्यागी too.
He's
So
also available,
ये
both
6 हाँ,
quick.
कार्तिक त्यागी का नाम मैंने कल मिस कर दिया। ये 6 बॉलर्स में से 3 पर कम से कम MI की नजर जरूर होगी। उनका मॉडल यही है कि 3 पेसर 2 स्पिनर, और आपको स्पिनर इतने ज्यादा नहीं है। हसरंगा चले गए हैं, सो यू हैव आदिल रशीद एंड मुजीबुर रहमान कमिंग, तो दोनों ओवरसीज स्लॉट वाले हैं। तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट दे डू इन द पेस ऑप्शंस, उस पर डिपेंड करेगा कि क्या स्पिन ऑप्शन रहेगी उनके पास।
एक चीज अमूमन देखा गया है कि जो चाहे राजस्थान हो, पंजाब हो, सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद हो, ये बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंड करते हैं ओवरसीज प्लेयर्स पे। लेकिन चेन्नई ऐसा प्लेयर्स को सेलेक्ट करता है जो बहुत ही अनकॉमन सा प्लेयर है, लेकिन रातों रात चेन्नई इसको लाके स्टार बना देता है। जैसे रश्विन की हम बात कर रहे हैं। रश्विन एक ऐसा प्लेयर है जो हर कोई जान रहा है। इस वर्ल्ड कप से पहले कोई नहीं जान रहा था, जो बहुत ज्यादा क्रिकेट फॉलो नहीं करता, लेकिन आफ्टर दिस वर्ल्ड कप एवरीवन नोस हु इज रश्विन। ये एक जो प्लानिंग होती है किसी भी टीम के लिए कि कुछ नए प्लेयर्स उठाओ, 4 साल 2 साल 3 साल रखो अपने बीच, ट्रेंड करो और उसे फ्यूचर टीम बना के छोड़ो। तो ये प्लानिंग कहीं ना कहीं चेन्नई के सक्सेस का सबसे बड़ा एक वेटेज है।
चेन्नई तो मैं कहूंगा इसका एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट रहा है। अगर आप एक स्पेसिफिकली देखें तो चेन्नई हैज गॉन इन फॉर एस्टैब्लिश्ड नेम्स। आप चेन्नई का अगर एक प्रोसेस देखोगे तो वो एक बीच में जोक बन गया था कि अगर आप अंडर 30 हो तो आप बिलोंग ही नहीं करते चेन्नई में।
Daddy Army.
तो हाँ, तो वो तो आप 30 साल से ऊपर का रहना तो एक मैंडेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट हो गया था।
In the meantime, MI have got Gerald Coetzee. Jamie?
Coetzee तो even I
Arshal
said
Patel.
yesterday. I didn't say he'll go for a lot of money.
Yeah,
so
yeah, but we, yeah,
Same
not
here. How much did
5
Coetzee
CR.
cost?
5 CR.
That's a very good buy.
That's a very good
Very
buy.
very good buy.
ये देखना है हर्षल पटेल कहाँ जाएंगे और क्या आरसीबी इनके लिए वापस आएगा या नहीं आएंगे। आई डोंट थिंक वो आएंगे, क्योंकि हर्षल पटेल जो फर्स्ट कपल ऑफ सीजंस में उनके पास वेरिएशंस थे, उसके आगे बढ़ नहीं पाए। ही इज ऑलवेज रिलाइंग ऑन स्लोअर डिलीवरीज, ऑल 6 डिलीवरीज, और वो नहीं चलता है।
जीटी दोनों के बीच में कंपटीशन है।
जीटी, दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग। आशीष नेहरा
Except
उल्टा ब्लेजर डाल के
expect him
बैठे
to
हुए
do
हैं।
some weird
हाँ
things
कुछ
or
ना कुछ इनको करना ही है।
blazer
उल्टा ब्लेजर
उल्टा
डाल के बैठे हुए हैं आशीष।
अच्छा ब्लेजर, चश्मा पीछे,
उल्टा
चश्मा पीछे।
दबंग।
But no, Harshal Patel, I agree. He has lost that zip.
He's
of
lost
the
that
first
zip.
two
वो जब
seasons.
से जडेजा ने उनको कुछ 32 रन मारे ना आखिरी
Yeah,
ओवर में, he's
yeah.
not been the same.
I think वो
Yeah.
इंजरी के बाद जब वापस आया ना,
Yeah.
उसका रिदम ऑफ था, क्योंकि उसका स्लोअर वन रेगुलर स्लोअर वन नहीं था, वो डिप आता था, वो डिप चला गया।
तो
At the next
हर्षल
break
पटेल
we'll
को
take a
लेकर बात चल रही है इस वक्त। अराउंड 5 CR भी पटेल पहुंच चुके हैं पंजाब और गुजरात। लेकिन वो जो इंजरी की बात साहिल तुमने की कि अभी एक इम्पैक्ट था हर्षल पटेल का, लेकिन जिस तरह से जडेजा ने जो स्कोर किया अगेंस्ट उनके, एक प्लेयर का करियर सडनली चेंज हो जाता है।
करेक्ट।
एक ओवर, आपकी एक इंजरी आपको कहां से कहां लेके चली जाती है, और फिर आप हर्षल पटेल को आप खोज रहे हैं, हम उनके लिए वैक्यूम क्रिएट हो रहा है कि आप उन्हें लाओ, खिलाओ और उन्हें तैयार करो फिर से। लेकिन उनके अंदर जो पोटेंशियल है, उस पोटेंशियल पर हर्षल पटेल अब तक नहीं खेल पाए।
करेक्ट, ये तो है। मतलब आप देखो, अगर आप याद करोगे वो दौर जब वो पर्पल कैप विनर बने, आरसीबी के लिटिल लोन प्लेयर थे, उसके बाद आरसीबी ने उनको रिटेन करा, इतना पैसा उनके ऊपर खर्च करा, पोटेंशियल था, सबको
आज
स्किल भी था,
वो
आज
injury
भी है। और वो जो मेंटली वो इतना स्ट्रांग था ना कि सबसे डिफिकल्ट ओवर्स वो डालता था। आप देखो आरसीबी उसको 4 ओवर जो फेंकवाते थे वो 14वां 16वां 18वां 20वां मोस्टली रहता था, या एक ओवर बीच में कहीं स्लिप इन हो गया। उस दौरान वो गेंदबाजी करना किसी भी बॉलर के लिए आसान नहीं है, और इंडिया में तो खासकर जब आप इतने ड्यू के साथ सेकंड इनिंग में बॉल डालते हो। बट वो इंजरी के बाद जब वापस आया, आई थिंक वो रिदम का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, बहुत रिदम ओरिएंटेड बॉलर था, रिदम ड्रिवन बॉलर था। और जो स्लोअर वन की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ ना, एक स्लोअर वन रेगुलर होता है, हर्षल पटेल का स्लोअर वन डिप करता था आपके ऊपर, तो वहीं पे ये खिलाड़ी बहुत ग्रेट बना था। और ग्रेटनेस ये है कि आज इसकी बोली फिर 7 करोड़ के पास हो गई है, क्योंकि इसका डोमेस्टिक सीजन बहुत अच्छा रहा है। हरियाणा के लिए विजय हजारे ट्रॉफी जो हरियाणा जीती है अभी 2 दिन पहले, हर्षल पटेल ने अहम भूमिका निभाई फाइनल के अंदर, क्योंकि राजस्थान वो गेम ऑलमोस्ट जीत गया था, बट इन्होंने आके विकेट निकाल दिए।
गेम चेंजर
कि आरसीबी रिटेन कर लेगी इसको।
बट जो हम श्रेणी बात कर रहे थे कि पंजाब को भी जरूरत है, पंजाब की टीम और गुजरात की टीम पेपर पे भी दिख रही है हमें, ठीक है, लेकिन उन्हें एक ऐसे प्लेयर चाहिए जो गेम चेंजर हो, जो अपने को बॉलिंग में थोड़ी फील्डिंग में हेल्प कर सके, क्योंकि वो मिसिंग है अभी भी। मैं जो पंजाब की टीम भी बात कर लो या फिर गुजरात टाइटंस की भी बात कर लो,
पंजाब में तो राइट नाउ आपको एक स्टेबल बैटर की जरूरत है। मैं थोड़ी देर पहले कह रहा था कि सारा कुछ प्रेशर जो है वो शिखर धवन पे ही है, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसको बैलेंस आउट करना पंजाब।
क्या आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि अगर रचिन पर शायद पंजाब को बीट करना चाहिए था, जो सीएसके ने करके उन्हें बैकअप के तौर पर रखा है, क्योंकि
रचिन तो 100%
अच्छे फॉर्म में चल रहा है रचिन ना,
काफी चीप ऑप्शन,
क्योंकि लिविंगस्टन इज अ लॉटरी ना, लियम लिविंगस्टन इज अ लॉटरी, लियम लिविंगस्टन कांट बी और लाइक कंसिस्टेंट नंबर 4 और नंबर 5 इन अ टी20, वो एक लॉटरी है, वो मैक्सवेल वाला भी नहीं है, वो देखो तो लॉटरी है।
बैट्समैन
8
I think Rachin could have been good for Punjab for sure.
इवन आल्सो दिल्ली के लिए भी दिखता, दिल्ली।
पर दिल्ली में अमृत फिर वही ना, कितने ओवरसीज प्लेयर, वो तो फिर इंडियन प्रीमियर लीग नहीं, इंटरनेशनल प्रीमियर लीग बना दी।
still have 8
जितने उन लोग ने, पर कहाँ खिलाओगे? मतलब आई थिंक राइट नाउ ऑन द टेबल यू शुड बी फाइनलाइजिंग योर 11। अगर मिनी ऑक्शन की आप बात करेंगे, 11 अपना शीट बनाओ, मतलब आप कर लो, पर 11 आपके माइंड में रहना चाहिए जो आज, मतलब आप इतना आगे का क्यों,
मिनी ऑक्शन में, आप मेगा ऑक्शन में
मंथ्स थिंग, नो
आप पूरी एक नई स्क्वाड आप बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, बट मिनी ऑक्शन में आपको
नहीं that's fine, that's fine, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है ना कि you can't have your 8 overseas players.
No, you have, but
fair enough,
मतलब 11 बनाओ मोटा मोटी,
आपका एक 80-90% आप सॉर्टेड रहने चाहिए,
करेक्ट,
गोइंग इनटू अ मिनी ऑक्शन।
अरे वो सब छोड़ो, हर्षल पटेल को देखो, he's crossed the 10 crore mark.
That's a little excessive for him.
I'm
जो बात आप फाइल कर भी रहते हैं कि
आप रीसेंसी बायस आया, इसका डोमेस्टिक अच्छा गया है, विजय हजारे अच्छा,
that's a little expensive for him.
That's way over what I
little
thought.
excessive.
I understand recency bias, लेकिन IPL में काफी times he's not been that potent, so and he's lost his place in India's team. तो जब आपका एक brand value गिरता है, I didn't see him going for more than 6. So this is for me personally is little surprising.
जैकपॉट कह रहे हो आपकी हर्षल पटेल के लिए
बहुत ज्यादा है, बहुत ज्यादा है।
नहीं, because उनका performances over the last 1-2 years was not that great. He's not taken that next step. From that perspective, I thought, yeah, Jamie's right. But Jamie, do you think maybe a change in team, change of ground might help him? Because RCB में तो as it is a death trap for bowlers.
Yeah. Again, very keen to see where he finally ends up. Punjab has the highest.
पंजाब नहीं जाना चाहिए उसको, वो उसके करियर का एकदम
नहीं, that is how much budget is there.
उसको नेहरा जी चाहिए, अगर करियर में कुछ करना है
चाहिए ना,
जो मोहित शर्मा के साथ हुआ, उसको नेहरा जी चाहिए।
नहीं, not just नेहरा जी, but आप ये भी देखो ना, अहमदाबाद is a huge ground, और इनका जो slower variations है, that is going to work on a ground like Ahmedabad, जहाँ पे इतना बड़ा ground है, the boundaries are really big. It's not like चिन्नास्वामी जहाँ पे आंख बंद करके आप छक्का मार रहे हो।
छक्के लास्ट ईयर लगे भी अहमदाबाद में थे, रिंकू के 5 भी वहीं आए थे, मतलब ग्राउंड बड़ा लगता है पर डायमेंशन ऐसा नहीं है।
I'm just
अहमदाबाद like ground looks intimidating, but it's not that dimensions में बड़ा है, like clear तो हो जाता है।
11.5 हो गया।
It's not like RCB, right?
Yeah, not like
it's not like RCB.
11.75 and counting.
So 10.75 का जो इसका RCB के साथ bid था, वो क्रॉस हो गया after RCB release.
But let me ask you guys, is he not a bit too one-dimensional? Like, are you just
now he is? Now he for sure he is.
6 out of 6 slower balls. Power play में इतना खास नहीं है।
going on?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Watch this. We can talk about grounds and conditions. जहाँ भी खेलेगा, is he going to give you that much?
को देख के मेरे को वो वीरेंद्र सहवाग का कोट याद आ गया, when Sehwag was the mentor or the director something, he was with Punjab, no, he was at the table, he said never hand that paddle to a lady because she'll never stop shopping, and she hasn't,
they've got him for
and they get the bid at 11.
We have a lady with
Breaking
us also
news,
now, so
11.75.
let's not make those kind of remarks.
Okay, so hi guys, meeting you here for the first time. Well, thanks to Amrit. First, thanks Amrit. You guys tell how's it going. I want to know SRH. Chetan, SRH जिस तरीके से चल रहे हैं अभी तक.
Yeah, I mean a couple of good buys for them. I think Travis had really good buy. not just in the short term but also in the long term for them, क्योंकि next year we might look at players who might get retained. Last year उनको top order में उनके पास कोई नहीं था जो उनके young Indian batters को guide कर सके. Mayank Agarwal was not firing for them. So Travis Head, one of the top batters of 2023. I think that's a very, very good purchase if he can carry that form. And we all know what he did in Ahmedabad to us. So from that perspective, I think, that's a very, very good buy for SRH.
Yeah, and Srini, we're talking about Travis Head, but talk of the town is Pat Cummins. And RCB went for Pat Cummins, and it felt like कि सारे पैसे वो उन्हीं पे लगा देंगे, but a wise decision to back out at the last moment.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised with Pat Cummins getting money. 20 crore touch kiye hain. Yes, kind of looked like at one point that it would touch 20, but that bit is surprising.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins getting a lot of money, I think, they just got it divided. Pat Cummins को extra दे दिया, वलिंदु हसरंगा को इतने ही सस्ते में ले लिया.
Yeah.
तो वो कहीं ना कहीं बैलेंस आउट हो गया. और मेरे ख्याल से वो 3 बाइज में SRH has done a very good job. एक और शायद अगर वो 5 करोड़ कुछ बचे उनके पास, एक और अगर कोई यंग बैटर को उठा ले वो, तो ये they are sorted.
Yeah, and साहिल, हमने पैट कमिंस को देख लिया है, हमने यहाँ पे रोमन पावल पे देख लिया. What is the approach that you're thinking? क्योंकि मुझे याद है कि हम आपसे बात कर रहे थे. You said कि जितने भी फास्ट बॉलर्स होंगे वो ज्यादा बिकेंगे इस ऑक्शन में. Do you think it's the trend that's going around right now as well?
I think it's likely to continue. We are just talking about the overseas players. Let the uncapped Indian players come into the picture. You will see some names becoming crorepati's today because अभी teams को requirement है और अभी 2 bouncer वाला rule जो introduce हुआ है उसके बाद you will see more and more fast bowlers coming to the picture and become very, very relevant in the scheme of things. And right now as we speak, I think Daryl Mitchell, as we are speaking, Livingston का replacement या backup चाहिए आपको. This boy fits the
4 crore mark.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. Last 12 months, जैसा spin को खेला है, कड़क.
I'm surprised GT is not going for him because हमने अभी आपके आने से पहले सुरम्या बात की थी कि हार्दिक पांड्या को रिप्लेस करने के लिए आपको एक प्लेयर चाहिए जो बैटिंग करता है, जो मीडियम पेस करता है. और चलो कैप्टेंसी acumen might not be there with Daryl Mitchell, but the finishing ability from number 4, he can finish games. वो 4 से ही पूरी इनिंग्स को पकड़ के टर्न कर सकते हैं and he can finish games. हमने देखा है what he does for New Zealand. This is the perfect player. I mean, obviously they can't replace Hardik Pandya with just one player.
Yes.
But still, this is the perfect replacement in my mind for Hardik if you're looking at the attributes.
But right now,
and I'm surprised they are not
in
going
the World
in
Cup. I think two of the finest centuries in this World Cup came from this guy. Both
against India.
The best bowling attack in the tournament.
Both against
both
India.
in a losing cause, but both, if the team was there anywhere in the game, it is thanks to him.
Yeah.
I think the first game, Dharamshala, the way he handled Kuldeep.
Exactly.
He took the game close.
One day before that game, I was speaking to him. We did an interview for Cricket Next, and I did ask him about the IPL. I see, light remark, you want to play. Yeah, it'll be nice playing for the IPL, but we take a lot of pride in playing for New Zealand. He was all chill. But right now, your chill will all heat up because this is a lot of money, 6 crore.
Yeah.
He's nearly 6 crore
He's
now. But he deserves that. Like middle order batter, gun player, very good footwork, again spin, very dominating.
6 crores is very good for him. And what DC is in for him?
Delhi Capitals and Punjab
I don't
Kings are in
understand DC
this
going for him.
bidding battle.
DC is DC.
DC को
किस
क्या
टीम को
चाहिए?
ज्यादा जरूरत है दोनों में से अभी?
Look, if you look at what Daryl Mitchell offers any franchise, any team,
Just DC Punjab.
it's massive.
वो
वो
निकल
टीम
गया
पे
ना
खेल
पहले.
सकते हैं, वो फिनिशर बन सकते हैं. You look at what
No,
he does
just DC
in
Punjab.
England's domestic tournament. Look at what he does in New Zealand's domestic tournament. ये जहाँ जाता है, ये wicket निकालता है. He's always at the ball. So he's a very utility player. And I'm surprised it's taken franchises this long, Suramya, to realize that Daryl Mitchell क्या कर सकते हैं. Srini is right. He scored 2 fantastic hundreds. He got an even better 100 in one of the matches against England before the World Cup in that series, But he's undervalued. Last season, he sat in RCB. His main job was to do reels with Jimmy Neesham, It's a crime that the world is waking up to what Daryl Mitchell has. Usse pehle 2021 T20 World Cup, I was doing shows with Chetan and the guy was coming out. He got the team into the final, And now I think he's finally getting his due, So jahan bhi ye banda jayega, he's going to be gold because he should be playing every single match of the IPL that he gets any contract with,
I call him the Grant Elliott clone.
Okay.
He's built like that, a bald Grant Elliott in a way. यहाँ पे तो बाल हैं and like Srini said, ये बहुत पुरानी photographs use कर रहे हैं. But yeah, he's like a Grant Elliott clone, that kind of mindset that he
Mhm.
brings in terms of finishing the games. Like I said, वो पूरी innings को पढ़ के, match को, situation को पढ़ के, he can do that. He did that both in Dharamshala
Yeah.
and in Mumbai, the most successful batter against India in that World Cup. But even before that, he was like Jamie said, he's not been getting his due. I was always surprised why he's not playing in the IPL, a more prominent role in the IPL. For me, he's a perfect CSK player, a perfect GT player.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised both, obviously, CSK is much settled right now.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised GT is not
GT
in
could
for
have
him.
gone for him, yeah.
I'm really surprised GT is not in for him.
Well,
But I think I hope he goes to Punjab because he'll get 14 good games there. DC तो will continue to play musical
कोई है नहीं ना
chairs.
पंजाब में,
Exactly.
कोई है नहीं,
पंजाब में है ही नहीं ना, तो
कोई।
4 पे आप इसको easily उतार के you can solidify that middle order. Have Liam Livingston at 5. You are sorted then. Have Bairstow at 3, Prabhsimran and Shikhar Dhawan at top of the order. You're sorted with top 5. इतना
That
complicated.
is something. It's a very nice line that Sahil used. You know that at least if he goes to Punjab, उसको 14 game मिलेंगे, which is what every player wants. हर
Yeah.
player को अगर आप पूछो
Exactly.
14
priority
games
क्या
चाहिए,
है,
yeah.
वो तो यही बोलेगा कि I should get my space under the lights. I think.
So they have Harry Brook and now they're going for Daryl Mitchell.
I don't
It
understand
makes
what DC
no
are doing.
sense. It makes no sense. और सबसे बड़ा DC के साथ नेगेटिव पता क्या था लास्ट सीजन? Obviously, apart from ऋषभ पंत, उससे बड़ा नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता है. लेकिन the other negative was that they let go of Kagiso Rabada.
Yeah.
They were forced to let go of Kagiso Rabada.
Yeah.
Not last year, last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
They
mega
were-
auction.
Yeah, mega auction में. And Enric Nokia never stepped up. से last season
Yeah.
तो शायद इंजरी हो गई थी.
हाँ, कम
और
खेला.
उससे पिछले सीजन में भी the first season of this cycle he was not able to step up. He was not the Enric Nokia.
Yeah.
The reason was because he was Enric Nokia along with Kagiso Rabada.
Exactly.
So DC should be looking to replace Rabada.
Hmm.
And I don't think either
नहीं हो सकता.
Harry Brook or Daryl Mitchell replace Rabada.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I don't know why they're going for Daryl Mitchell. Then you already have Harry
and they're
Brook.
spending 10
So
crores.
it means you are spending 10 on Daryl Mitchell. So what Jamie was saying is
4 on
right.
Brook.
Then,
So Brook is going to open.
yeah.
Then वरना where will कितना
Yeah.
खिलाओगे?
नहीं बट आप उनके 4 ओवरसीज गिनाओ इस टाइम पे. नोकिया खेलेगा या नहीं
मैं तो 6
खेलेगा?
गिना सकता हूँ. उन्होंने
नहीं,
जितनी
नहीं,
जितनी
आप-
शॉपिंग
नहीं,
कर ली है.
4 गिनाओ ना.
Mitchell
आप-
Marsh, David Warner.
David Warner, Mitchell
Yeah.
Marsh will play.
Yeah.
Then you have only 2 spots left. Harry Brook, अभी Mitchell गए नहीं हैं, but Harry Brook, Mitchell and Nokia.
Is Nokia still there? I think he was released.
Nokia
Let
was
me
not
double check.
released.
I think he was released. Let me
No,
double
he's
check.
not in the pool. He's very much there.
He's very
He's
much
there?
He's
Yeah.
there, yeah.
He's not in the pool.
He's not been released. If he was released, he would have come up by now, na?
Correct,
In
correct,
fast
So-
correct.
bowlers.
For Daryl Mitchell 10 करोड़ का मार्क तो टच हो ही चुका है यहाँ
Wow.
पर. और हम जो बात कर रहे थे, obviously he's a
Yeah,
nice
so they
player,
released
yeah.
Mustafizur. Yeah.
Mustafizur. Yeah. Mustafizur was not going to be
Yeah.
important for them. But again, Mustafizur was they got Mustafizur so that they could try and replace Rabada.
Hmm.
But Mustafizur didn't work out for them.
But they have
Yeah.
Ishant Sharma, boss, leading the attack. They don't need anyone. The great, grand old man of India is there.
But why Punjab Kings
like
are
I said
after
with
Daryl
RCB.
Mitchell, Sahil?
Yeah, what?
Why
Sorry.
Punjab Kings are after him?
Punjab Kings definitely need him at number 4.
Okay, at
If
number
there's
4.
one player they
And-
could like bank upon for the entire season, I
Yeah.
think it has
See,
to be Daryl Mitchell.
एक availability की बात भी है because they
Yeah.
have okay we also have to figure this out that this is just one season क्योंकि उसके बाद we are assuming कि mega auction will come up.
Yes.
It's a third year.
Yeah.
So it's a short term buy. So you're thinking for next season and with the T20 World Cup immediately after the IPL,
Yeah.
there's a good chance English players might not be available for the entirety of the IPL.
Hmm.
So आपको बेस्टो का रिप्लेसमेंट चाहिए, आपको लिविंगस्टन का रिप्लेसमेंट
Yeah.
चाहिए. बेस्ट और लिविंगस्टन के बिना तो पंजाब के पास कुछ बचा ही नहीं
बचा
है.
ही नहीं है, हाँ.
So from that perspective, they are going hammer and tongs for him.
Makes perfect sense to me. Because look, what he does is he can float. हाँ, 4 पे best option है वो Suramya.
Yeah.
But the guy can float. He's a quick starter when the situation demands by T20 parameters. वो again strange term वो anchor कर सकते हैं. लेकिन भाई वो दूसरी तीसरे गेंद पे छक्के लगा सकते हैं वो. You know,
Yes.
and I'm surprised that I mean I've seen him in that. इनका जो डोमेस्टिक है वहां पर न्यूजीलैंड में some Georgie Porgy it was called last time. फिर वो ram slam in whatever it's called. I mean whatever it is. Whenever I'm seeing him in T20 franchises, चाहे UK हो या न्यूजीलैंड हो, he has a knack of taking wickets. He bowls 4 overs, 2 for 30. That's golden. तो जहां भी जाएगा Daryl Mitchell, I think he's a steal. He's just an amazing player.
But वही बात है ना, जेमी, दिल्ली
I know.
कैपिटल्स में जगह
They're
क्लियर
talking.
समझ में नहीं आ
हाँ
रही है.
बिल्कुल Delhi Capitals में, like I think Sahil was saying or Chetan was saying, Delhi Capitals में वो कहाँ से fit होंगे? I'm actually struggling because again, then you're saying कि आपका David Warner, Harry Brook, Mitchell Marsh or Daryl Mitchell, your top 4 or your overseas players. आप एक स्पिनर नहीं खिला सकते हो, आप एक ओवरसीज बॉलर नहीं खिला सकते हो, unless you're saying कि Harry Brook is our plan B player, हम उसको नहीं खिलाएंगे, जब कोई इंजर्ड होता है, जब कोई प्लेयर रेस्ट मांगता है, तब हम हैरी ब्रूक को खिलाएंगे. But
DC have Lungi Ngidi as well.
That's what I'm saying. They have players which we're not factoring right now, and they'll be bowling all-rounders or fast bowlers. So
yes.
Strange.
So, yeah, this makes no sense. From DC's perspective, because they've
Punjab
got
can afford to go till 15 for him, yeah. Because
yes, Punjab can afford to.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Sahil, let's
DC.
talk about Delhi Capitals as a team.
So
as
they pulled
well,
out.
Okay.
DC have pulled out.
Good decision.
Sahil, when you talk about Delhi Capitals as a team, okay, so the last time when we saw Delhi Capitals, you know, it seemed that they were all over the place. They didn't have a proper plan because obviously Rishabh Pant wasn't there. Then it was onto David Warner, and they lost first 5 matches, and then they were looking, you know, a lack of planning was also there. Delhi Capitals, this time as well, when they are sitting here in the auction, it seems that they don't have a proper planning, right? Because they're going after Daryl Mitchell. But आप खिलाओगे किस नंबर पे, ये एक बड़ा सवाल है. So how is this team made? Because आपके पास कुछ options है जो आप ले नहीं रहे हो. And then auction maybe you are not going after the right players.
I think it was a season of chaos for Delhi last time around, for sure. Matlab, right from David Warner taking up captaincy and doing what he did. Matlab, there was no intent from him at top of the order. The batting didn't click. Prithvi Shaw struggled. They tried Sarfaraz Khan. They tried Manish Pandey. Everyone just struggled except Akshar Patel. I think there wasn't any bright spot from their campaign. David Warner to a certain extent, yes. But that batting any Ranji Trophy player can do, yeah. But when you're not facing the strike rate pressure, when you're batting nearly run a ball. So that is not T20 batting for sure. So it was a season of chaos, and I'm still surprised what they're doing at the table this time around too. आप bowlers लेकर आओ, अक्सर के साथ एक quality spinner लेकर आओ, आप batting pack करी जा रहे हो, get a couple of good Indian uncapped players, boss, and have them around the likes of Mitchell Marsh, David. I think they also have Phil Salt, or have they released him? They've released him. Yeah, Phil Salt is released. So you still have a couple of good quality overseas batters uske around Indian players.
But again,
have that balance. No, it's not International Premier League.
Everything Sahil is saying is correct, but what do they need? They need a top order person who keeps wickets. You cannot expect a first ball of the IPL, Rishabh Pant will be there. They have to budget. उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि ऋषभ पंत वापस आएंगे, but you have to plan for him not to be there. You're chasing Daryl Mitchell. I would much rather they've gone for a get back Phil Salt, go for Josh Inglis, go for Kusal Mendes. Daryl Mitchell is not going to give you what you need. You need a keeper batsman जो top 3 या maximum 4 पे खेलता हो. And if you're going to spend 14 crores on Daryl Mitchell, आपका keeper कौन है? Rishabh Pant. You cannot assume he's going to come back so soon. So strange.
And will he come as a wicket-keeper batter, or he'll be coming specially only as a batter? That's a question.
So they need to keep their monies for a backup for Pant as a batsman, as a wicket-keeper. That's most important. लेकिन उस पे जाने से पहले मैंने क्या कहा था? Daryl Mitchell is your CSK player. He's your typical CSK player. I was surprised why they didn't go for him. And look, they've entered the bidding war. At 12.5 CR, they entered the bidding for Daryl Mitchell.
Yeah. And ये तो एक trend रहा है ना चेतन CSK के साथ. They always go after the New Zealanders. You know, they are always after
Punjab are off.
Punjab are out of the bidding war.
Oh, so CSK will get
CSK
at 14. So this is what.
This is interesting.
He is your typical.
Let's just wait. The countdown is on. Let's just wait what's going to happen here.
But he is your typical CSK
player.
And I was surprised that CSK GT were also not going for him. But I was surprised कि CSK क्यों नहीं जा रहे हैं. They had that purse, and you know it made sense why they let Travis Head go. Because they had 16 crores of Ben Stokes' purse. Ben Stokes को उन्होंने release किया. They had 16 crores to spend on an overseas player.
तो एक बात बताओ चेतन, इनके overseas कौन रहेंगे? You start.
We'll come to it. Let them get it. We'll let them get it, and then we'll come to it. But what I'm just trying to say is,
so the discussions going on in.
And in the meantime, I'll open.
I think Pathirana and Conway are going to be 2.
No, wait. So we have.
So Daryl Mitchell is most likely to go to CSK.
Moeen Ali
is not available for the entire season.
Manish Tikshana, Pathirana. So that's 4. And then who else did they get today?
Tikshana town.
Rachin Ravindra.
Tikshana
He's gone.
Her match 14 games not.
And,
I'm just counting the overseas players.
He's sold to Chennai Super Kings.
He is your quintessential Chennai player. यही मैंने आपको कहा था. They entered at 12 crores, and now this makes sense because Travis Head ko they let go, and they've got what did Ben Stokes not do for them last year? He did not play as much, but he did not bowl.
Yeah.
This guy bowls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy bowls. He's going to give you those 2-3 overs. What they'll do is, whoever is the captain after Dhoni or whoever it is, they don't need to worry about playing an extra pacer.
Yeah.
Boss, CSK have had a gun auction so far. Rachin Ravindra,
They-
Shardul Thakur.
So
Darren
now-
Mitchell,
yeah.
they have plugged whatever gaps there
And
were.
They
that's
have
where
done more.
planning
They have
comes
done
in,
more.
Sahil.
Yeah.
That's
They've
where
done
planning
more.
comes
Yeah.
in. When you sit at the auction table with
Correct.
proper planning, when you know what are the
So they
vacant
knew where
spots
they
and you
went,
go
so
on
they
for
were
the
where
right
they
players,
went.
that's
So-
what happens. That's why they have won title 5 times. They know the game. They are here in the auction right now.
Conway, Mitchell Santner, Rachin Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, Tikshana Pathirana. That's 6. Moin Ali, 7. That's your 7 overseas players. अब आप
Santner 8.
हाँ
Santner 8 ना?
Santner count कर लिया. So 7 overseas players. They still have 1 slot remaining, and just they'll get Hazelwood. They'll get Hazelwood,
Okay.
and now try and keep rotating.
Okay, let's
you know,
park that. You know,
Yeah, we
Hazelwood
will. We
and
will. But
CSK.
my point is कि they will keep rotating these
Yeah.
players and look at the core that they have got. Oh my God, this CSK are already favorites for next year.
Yeah, they are. And you mentioned 3 New Zealand players, right, Chetan?
Yeah.
We got Rachin Ravindra
4.
and Daryl Mitchell right now
4.
in this auction. And
Conway and Mitchell Santner
Mitchell
are already
Santner.
there. So they should have black stripes on that yellow now.
But Sahil, you tell us why they're so fond of New Zealand players.
Stephen
Fleming.
Fleming. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I think that's the kind of chilled out atmosphere they've had in the dressing room for years, except that Ravindra Jadeja captaincy
Yeah.
episode.
इसी बात को आगे लेके मैं एक और बार कहूंगा, न्यूजीलैंड इस बार T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीत रही है. Josh Hazelwood spent 1 season with Dhoni. Australia won that year. Sam Curran spent 1 season. England won that year. They've now got they have Santner, they have Ravindra, they have Conway, and now they have Daryl Mitchell. New Zealand are winning the T20 World Cup because Dhoni का हाथ इतना बड़ा होता है teams पर.
Well, we'll play it on
Canberra-
loop once that happens in T20 World Cup. For now, it's the IPL auction time. Chetan is talking about, how CSK are on point in the game. And right now
Chris
we have
Woakes.
Chris Woakes.
Yeah.
Chris Woakes ke liye Punjab Kings have entered the bidding. And it
Not
seems
surprised.
that no
Not
other
surprised.
teams quite interested. So far, we don't have any other team bidding for Chris Woakes. Why
K-
Chris Woakes
KKR.
for Punjab Kings, Chetan?
Obviously they need the players, but it makes no sense because एक तरफ आप Johnny Best और Livingston का
him.
backup बना रहे हो. They've got him for
420.
420. Who was the
Steal.
other
Yeah.
bidder? Who was the other bidder?
KKR.
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 KKR is interesting that they were in for him.
So,
But-
but clearly they're looking for bowlers who
He
can
was there
move the
before
ball.
with them also.
Yeah.
KKR.
But not very convincing.
But he's
Punjab.
not been convincing in these
Hmm.
conditions. That's been the problem.
Hmm.
और अभी वो इंग्लैंड के टेस्ट टूर में की टीम में भी नहीं है.
Yeah.
Because these conditions don't suit him. Under lights with the ball moving around, yes. And I thought GT would be interested in him.
Yeah.
They've released Lockie Ferguson.
Mm.
He can bat a bit. So he gives you that number 7, number 8 ka batting.
Mm.
And instead of Lockie Ferguson, they would have got somebody. Mohit Sharma is moving the ball.
Mm.
So can Chris Woakes.
So
Yeah.
I thought GT would have been interested in him.
proper all-rounder.
Proper all-rounder.
Mhm.
All-rounder.
Yeah.
But disappointed that they did not go for him. A
Yeah.
very good buy for Punjab.
वैसे-
I think a better buy for Punjab than Harshal Patel. In my
Yeah, can
opinion.
say so. Yeah. Sahil, Harshal Patel, nobody was thinking that, Harshal Patel will go on for around 11 crores or so. Do you think it's good buy or do you think that he could have been sold at much lesser price as well?
In the last couple of seasons, one area where we have seen Punjab struggle, in spite of having the likes of Kagiso Rabada
Mm.
and Arshdeep Singh, it has been the death bowling.
Mm.
Arshdeep has been very erratic. Like if you get the last fifer versus South Africa out of the picture, he has been very erratic for India too. There
Yeah.
have been wickets, but he has leaked runs. He has
Yeah.
been very inconsistent, very wayward. The no balls wides have been in plenty, and with
Hmm.
Punjab too, right? Because he has been doing bulk of the heavy lifting when it comes to death bowling, and Rabada has been very off color
Yeah.
in Punjab colors. He was a different bowler when he was bowling with Anik Nokia in DC colors,
Right.
but now the complexion has completely changed for Rabada, the bowler. But that's where they needed someone like Harshal Patel. They needed someone to control those death overs. क्योंकि
Yeah.
अभी तक आप क्या देख रहे थे, राहुल चेहर को बॉल दे रहे हैं, हरप्रीत बरार जो इनका लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर है,
Right.
वो एक आध ओवर आके आपको दिखता था डालने के लिए. तो वो that was not taking them anywhere, right? You needed
Yeah.
bowlers who could do the job in the final. Do they still have Nathan Ellis? I'm not sure. Have they
Who?
retained him? Punjab Kings.
Punjab
He's there,
Kings.
he's there,
He's there.
he's there.
So that he's there too. So you need to plug those death bowling gaps. That is where Punjab have struggled for the last two editions. And Mohali, I don't know whether they're going to play at the old stadium or the new stadium which has come up now in this IPL, but that's an unforgiving ground for bowlers. So you need to have those bowling areas intact, all plugged up. और अगर आप धर्मशाला 2 मैच गए वहां पे अपना जो PR करने जाते हैं तो
And
वहां
they
तो और
certainly
मार
will go,
लगेगा.
yeah.
वहां तो एकदम पाटा बन जाता है क्योंकि जून जुलाई में.
Yeah. So right now we're talking about the set of auctions. We had a lot of discussions around the players, but the biggest buy has been Pat Cummins. Jamie, we all knew Pat Cummins एक ऐसे खिलाड़ी रहेंगे इस auction में, but were you imagining that he'll go on for 20.5 crores? That's the biggest buy ever in IPL.
No, not that much. But like we discussed yesterday, and Chetan got the ball rolling, saying that he should be the guy who gets 15. And between 12 to 15 did seem reasonable because देखो मैंने कल भी कहा था पीयूष चोपड़ा के उसने जो भी छुआ इस साल वो सोना बन गया, right? And Chetan rightly said that a year ago he was not a very well liked person in his own country, that is Australia.
Yeah.
But when you win two of the biggest prizes, right? T20 World Cup, I get it. It's the flavor of the current times. But WTC, despite being only 2 years old, is a really valued trophy, right? इनके साथ जो भी हुआ पिछले 2-2.5 साल में Australian team के साथ, for him to win the WTC and then 4 months later shut up a nation by winning the One Day World Cup when nobody thought that team could do it, that has been value. ऊपर से look, we know his numbers in T20 are not the greatest, but he's still a valuable all-rounder.
Yeah.
He's got the highlights we're watching, 14 ball 50.
Yeah.
The way he shut down the Indian team, which was 10-0 by bowling 10 overs around the stumps, bowling cutters, इसने एक देश को चुप करा दिया.
Yeah.
And now that same country has rewarded him, salam kiya usko by giving him 20.5 crores. And he's a leader. So he's giving you an all-round package. I'm not surprised now when I look at it that he's gone for 20.5 crores.
I saw that last night.
He did. He said 15. He didn't say 20. Ask him now. He didn't see 20 coming.
Obviously not. 20
But
is
this
20 is unimaginable in a
But
mini auction.
it's paisa vasool.
20 is unimaginable in any auction. This is the first time it's
पैसा वसूल
20.
तो तब होगा ना जब SRH वहां तक अगर जाएगी भी. You know, हर
No,
एक
but then when you
season.
buy a player like this, then you obviously want to. I mean, they've got what, Travis Head, and they've got आप उनका overseas players देखो, and then you look at let's take a look at
They've got a lot of overseas players. But Chetan, my question is, you know, the last time we saw them having Harry Brook, it didn't work out for them. This
True,
time
but
they've
then-
gotten
okay.
Pat Cummins. What I'm saying is that, okay, you've got a player that's great. You've got a player for 20.5 crores, but then it requires good planning and
Obviously.
execution in the tournament as well.
Samit, this is what you've just said. That is the answer. Harry Brook was 11 crores. He was never going to win you. He was an untested commodity.
And
Pat Cummins,
if I want to add a word, he was overrated by the English media.
बिल्कुल.
आप
Okay.
English media का जो contribution है वो नहीं भूल सकते.
पैट कमिंस 20 करोड़ के लिए क्यों गया? क्योंकि उसने 6 महीने के अंदर नंबर 1 रैंक टीम को आउटथिंक किया. This Indian team under Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid misread the oval conditions. They said, यार इस पिच पर अश्विन नहीं चलेगा. Did Australia से इस पे लायन नहीं चलेंगे? पैट कमिंस ने लायन को खिलाया. लायन ने 8 विकेट लिए उस ओवल पिच पे इंडिया की धज्जे उड़ा दिया. World Cup trophy, I would say 10 times more important than WTC final. What did Rohit Sharma do after 10-0? Like Chetan will always remind me until my last breath, 10-0 came to nothing because Pat Cummins read the conditions more than this great Indian juggernaut did. And this is why suddenly the world is woken up belatedly to is bande ka dimag. So I'm not this. He will win SRH the title. लिख के ले लो मुझसे.
And we can, और जैसे साहिल ने कहा कि we need to be figuring out the 11s. और आप you can literally see Sunrisers 11. Mayank Agarwal and Travis Head to open. Then you have Rahul Tripathi at number 3, Aiden Markram number 4, Heinrich Klaasen number 5. And then Marco Jansen or Pat Cummins, depending आप किसको खिलाना चाहते हो. Heinrich Klaasen को नहीं खिलाना चाहते. Then you have other batsmen there. Abdul Samad is there. Then Washington Sundar, Abhishek Sharma is there. Shahbaz Ahmed, he's also in the all-rounder category. तो आपका spin वहाँ पे हो गया. And then you're looking at pacers. Pat Cummins is already there. Marco Jansen is already there. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is there. Mayank Markande is another spin option for them. We are looking at Umran Malik. We have not counted him yet. We are looking at 13 players, 14 players, and we can't even figure out the 11 out of those 14. So they have got a a banging first choice playing 11.
Yeah.
Just to add exactly what this, I said it earlier before you came, Saramya. पिछले साल हम यहीं बैठे थे. इस साल actually we're talking about the auction. On paper, I said this Hyderabad team has the players to win the title. Unfortunately, and I'm Chetan's going to disagree with me, Aiden Markram, the captain, he let down this team. They had no business not getting to the playoffs last time around. This time they budgeted, they've got a leader.
No, but you have to understand, he did not come to the start of the tournament because South Africa was busy playing a tournament क्योंकि उनको वर्ल्ड कप के लिए क्वालिफाई करना था.
No, Markram was there from day one.
No, he did not play
just missed one or two.
He missed the first game. He missed the
Hardly.
first game.
But I'm saying,
No, but that's, see, if you're a new captain.
What the problem
wait.
was, no, I'll quickly add. Aiden Markram was a captain just on paper. He wasn't aware about anything.
Correct.
I can say that
That's
on
why
the
you
record.
correct. Bilkul,
At every
bilkul,
press
bilkul,
conference,
bilkul.
you would ask him about players, replacements. I don't know, management is taking call.
Yeah,
So
that
that
happened last
management
year, yeah.
is now off.
correct.
So right now, as I'm thinking loud, Pat Cummins is your SRH captain.
Bilkul.
Aiden Markram is not going to be your captain
That's-
because that
yeah.
management is no longer there.
That's what I.
They have
And
a
this
leader.
coach
Could
have
be.
changed
But-
a
but-
lot of
but-
captains.
But what I'm trying to defend Aiden Markram by saying कि he was playing international cricket और जब आप इस माहौल में आते हो where the management is interfering, they are picking your teams,
Yeah.
which is what irritated David Warner and Kane Williamson as well.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, जब आप ऐसे scenario में आते हो, you need to be there from day one. With an overseas captain, that is not possible. Overseas captain who's missing 2 weeks of prep, missing the first game, and then coming in.
Yeah.
और वहां पे already experimentation चल रहा है
बिल्कुल.
because you have a 14 crore player, उसको opening कराओ, फिर
Correct.
उसने 100 मार दिया, फिर
Correct.
उसको 4 match और दो. That doesn't work.
This
So
exactly
Jamie,
this
I'll
is
have
this
to-
this is what this new management has sought to erase.
Yeah.
Remove doubt.
are we sure we have entirely new
कोई
management?
Yeah, Dan Vittori is on the table.
No, he's
now.
the coach,
Yeah.
but
So
owners
Chetan,
तो
we'll
वही
come
हैं.
to
Owners
this
do, but I think
discussion a
the
bit
fabric of the
later.
support staff has gone all
Chetan and
across.
Sahil will come to this discussion a bit later because we have a special guest with us. We have Graham Swan with us, and we'll be having word with him right now about the ongoing IPL auction. Graham, what do you have to say about this IPL auction, especially Pat Cummins to SRH for 20.5 crores?
Brilliant. I was just listening in there. Again, Sunrisers on paper always have a fantastic team, and they're definitely stronger. And I agree completely there that Aiden Markram was no leader. He was no captain. He wasn't a guy who was going to sort of drag his team. He's not the sort of big physical presence and the natural born leader, I don't think. He's a brilliant player that Pat Cummins is. So Pat Cummins on the back of a successful World Cup, albeit in the 50-over format, he's landed himself an absolute, a nest egg there. He'll be driving a Lamborghini home with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
However, having said all that, and yes, I agree that that Sunrisers on paper do have a very strong 14, 15-man squad. And you struggle to get the 11. I still don't think that they're going to do it. I don't know why. I've got this sinking feeling about Sunrisers every time. There seems to be something in the background that has annoyed captains and in the past. And maybe Pat Cummins is the one who's going to come and clear all that away and say, no, be a very strong leader. I think that's what they need, a very firm leader who grabs that franchise by the scruff of its neck and say, look, we've won this before. We're a top 4 team. We're going to get there this year. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm English and Harry Brook's been discarded. That could be it. I'm more than happy to admit. But I think they're in a better position this year than they were last.
Yeah, and tell us which team impressed you the most, because a while back, Sahil was saying that CSK so far they have got a really banging auction so far because they have Rachin Ravindra, then they went for Daryl Mitchell as well, and then Shardul Thakur too. But which team impressed you the most so far?
Yeah, you've just taken the words out of my mouth. CSK have been brilliant so far. They're always good at these auctions, and they're always very relaxed and sort of calm, and the eyes looking sideways, and they always seem to get their man. Daryl Mitchell is a huge buy. I think, even though it was a 50-over World Cup we've just seen, he also does it in the T20 format as well, and he's been excellent. Before the auction came up, his was the name that I was looking at, thinking he could be the difference for one or two of these franchises, because he bats in that really awkward middle order slot in the IPL where you have to win games from 4, 5, 6. It's why those guys go for so much money. And he just sits in that slot really well. He bowls a little bit, but don't read too much into that. He's not been bought for his bowling. but with the bat, he can win you games. So CSK have done brilliantly so far. I always like looking down. I've got a big soft spot for Rajasthan Royals as well. So I'm very keen to see what they can come up with at this auction, whether they can bolster their squad as well. But I think so far, Chennai, as you know, current holders of the IPL, are looking very, very strong again.
Sahil, you happy about that? Because you said the same thing.
I just want to ask Graham, you know, how much would it take for him to shift his following from Rajasthan Royals? Do we need Rahul Tewatia to be traded to SRH then?
To be honest, wherever Rahul Tewatia goes, I will follow. To be honest, Gujarati, I have liked them the last couple of years. But yeah, there's certain players who take your fancy every now and again. I'll never forget that steamy night in Sharjah when Rahul Tewatia hit those 5 6s. He's become my favourite cricketer of all time. He's one of those unsung heroes who barely gets a mention these days, but every now and again he'll pop up and win you a game, and it always brings a massive smile to my face whenever he does.
If we can ask him,
Chetan, go ahead.
Chetan Narula here. What do you think of Harry Brook to Delhi Capitals? I mean, what kind of role do you foresee for him? Can he bat in the top, or will they use him in the middle order like England are using him in T20 cricket now?
I think he has to play in the middle order. I felt a bit sorry for Harry last year. He was sort of a young lad, got a huge paycheck, went to Sunrisers. And do you remember he got that 100 and did, quite frankly, the worst press conference ever afterwards? He said, well, that should shut a few people up. It was like holding head in hands thinking, oh, Harry, don't say stuff like that, for goodness sake. Because we all know that cricket comes back to bite you on the bottom if you do stuff like that. It doesn't like it. The cricketing gods do not like that whatsoever. And he had a stinking IPL after that. It was really bad. And I can understand why a lot of Indians will be shaking their head thinking, what is it with this player? He can't bat at all. He was dreadful by the end of the tournament. However, I think Delhi have actually picked up a bit of a bargain. I know it's nowhere near the sort of money he was on last year, but you're going to have to trust me on this one if you haven't seen him. He is an electric player. And once he gets a manager, a coach who can... I don't know how the best way to treat Harry, whether it's an arm around the shoulder, pumping his tyres up, or be quite harsh on him. I don't think it's being the harsh way. I think if he has a coach with an arm around the shoulder who really makes him believe in himself, he can deliver special things. He's currently doing it in the West Indies for England in the T20 format. But is that Delhi? Is that the way they're going to go about it and be that sort of loving, nurturing coach? We'll have to wait and see. Personally, I think he'll do very well. And I have no doubt in the long run that everyone will say, that's why people did pay that much money back in the day. But I understand completely how he's got for so much less this year after last year's IPL.
Yeah, Graham, in all these seasons of IPL, we have seen one team which hasn't won the title, and all eyes are on that team. That's Royal Challengers Bangalore. And this time as well, when they entered the bidding war with SRH for Pat Cummins, everybody's talking about, you know, what RCB is doing, because they don't have that much purse to go after a certain player or a single player. What do you have to suggest to RCB so that they can go closer to the trophy at least?
I'm going to give you a bit of backroom information. Those who don't know, Mo Bobat, who's gone from English Director of Cricket sort of role, and he's now in charge of RCB. He is a very, very astute character. He has done wonders. All the stuff about basketball and the resurgence of the England team behind closed doors, at the spotlight. Mo has been responsible for a lot of that. A lot of the younger players being able to come into Baz McCullum and Ben Stokes' team and do well. So RCB are in a very good place. And I think, and I always think this, even before this auction, you look at RCB's roster, you look at their squad, and you shake your head and you think, how are they not winning this thing every year?
Yeah.
How do they not just walk away with a trophy? And every year they start brilliantly and look like the team to beat and then fade away. Surely at some point that has to change. They can't forever be the nearly men, the bridesmaids and never the brides. And I'm saying this early, very, very early. I think RCB might go on and win it this year. I've just got this feeling Virat's not going to play too many more IPLs, and he wants to go out on a bang. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the year that they turn around and do it. And even though we haven't seen much come into the squad yet, I don't think they honestly need it that much. I think get everyone fit, get everyone firing, and get Glenn Maxwell. I mean, Glenn Maxwell can bat on his knees these days, so he doesn't even need to stand up. I reckon RCB could be the team.
Well, Jamie, do you second that?
Look, I mean, anyone who's watched the show knows my views on where RCB stand. But again, I think Graham's got a point there. With Virat Kohli, you will ask the question, how many more years? And 16 years his team has not won the franchise. But again, they're one of those teams where they often go into, just like Delhi. Before they were Delhi Daredevils, now they're Delhi Capitals. Forget what the name is. They often go into auctions with, on paper, I think Graham would know this, very, very sorted, but somehow either the captaincy doesn't work out or they pick the wrong 11. So again, as good as a team RCB might have a few hours from now, if things don't align for them, I'm always a little bit suspect about them. But like Graham said, I would love for Virat Kohli to finally get his hands on the trophy, because we know for 15 years what a performer he's been. But again, like cricket, Graham mentioned earlier in regards to Harry Brook, cricket has a strange way of coming back and biting you. Sometimes having great players doesn't necessarily mean you win titles, because things have to fall in line. And I think that would probably be RCB's legacy for 16 years, is things just haven't fallen into place, despite having on paper some damn good teams.
Sahil, you want to ask something to Graham?
Yeah, Graham, we're talking about Pat Cummins, Daryl Mitchell, but the first pick of the day, Robin Powell, how surprised were you with that price tag, and considering RR went after him right from the get go, like 7.4 crores for Robin Powell? Were you surprised, or did you see that coming, that bigger price tag just to get the auction rolling?
Tell you what, I've seen a lot of Robin Powell away from the IPL. He's played a lot of franchise cricket. He's been in the West Indies recently against England. He's been in the T10 that I've covered in Abu Dhabi. He is an incredible finisher. And what I think franchises are looking for, every team, if they could, would have that big, strong West Indian finisher like Andre Russell, like Karen Powell have done for the sorry. You know who I'm talking about. I've gone blank, sorry. But these guys who are massive finishers for their teams in the middle order. Rodman Powell is like the next guy stepping into that. He's the big, brutish, strong West Indian finisher who can smash the ball miles and strikes the love of fear of God into most bowlers at the back end. So I'm not that surprised that he got so much money early on. Although you do think that first pick, you sometimes think people will tiptoe into the auction and not really open their wallets. But I wasn't that surprised that he went, because he has a serious talent. Honestly, I've seen this guy hit the ball further than any other cricketer ever. He's a decent bowler as well, and he can lead if need be as well. So I think it was a surprise that he got so much, but I wasn't, I'm not that alarmed by the amount of money that he gets, because he is worth it, trust me.
Yeah, so we have
Byron Pollard, that's the name I was looking for. I do apologise.
Yeah.
It's early over here.
Yeah. So we're talking about the teams, but there are two teams, RCB and LSG, that are yet to buy players. Graham, any tips for these two teams? You already talked about RCB, but LSG.
Well, it's looking down the list, isn't it? And looking who you can steal, who are those guys. I'll tell you who won. Phil Salt, if someone gets hold of him, he's an incredible player. He's really good. And if they've already gone while I've been talking, I do apologise. I'm trying to keep up to it on my phone whilst I'm talking to you, and I'm not very good at doing two things at once. I was only a spin bowler after all. But yeah, Phil Salt, if someone gets hold of him, he could be an incredible buy. He's in the form of his life. I know he's English, and I'll always champion the English players, but he has got a bit about him. He's got a character not unlike David Warner. He's very sort of up and at him at the bowlers. He gets a lot of people's heckles up, and that can really work as a batsman. That can put bowlers on the back foot and get your team off to a good start. So if I were one of those two franchises, I'd be looking to get a hold of him, because I think he could be brilliant. Other than that, I look at the South Africans. South Africa had such a good World Cup, and there's one or two of them flying around or floating around in the auction. If you can get your hands on them just to bolster your middle order, that might be the way forward.
Okay, Jamie, you wanted to ask something.
Graham, just on the issue of Delhi Capitals, they released Phil Salt. Do you think perhaps they might go back to him? Because until we know where Rishabh Pant's fitness is, I would assume the Delhi Capitals would have to at some point have plans that he's not going to come back. And you need a keeper, because with all due respect to the keeper they had before, it's not a Rishabh Pant. So from that regard, given the fact that Phil Salt just got 100, he can open, he can bat 3, but Delhi Capitals do need a keeper in the top order, right?
Yeah, and honestly, after they've released him, Whether they're regretting that now, think, oh, do we do that? Because think of it as from a player's point of view. If you've been released by a franchise, they're basically saying you're not good enough for us. We don't need you. It's never a nice thing to. It's like being dumped by your girlfriend. They might say it's not your fault, but you know, at the end of the day, it is. So if he then wants to go back, if they want him to go back, whether that sits well on the player's shoulders and whether that sits well with the management of Delhi, because there'll always be that feeling that, you know, you didn't think I was any good last year. Now all of a sudden you like me. I'm not sure that would be a marriage made in heaven. I think he'll go to another franchise, but I can absolutely see your point. They do need a keeper. With Rishabh not 100%, and we don't really know. Of course, if Rishabh Pant is fit, then he plays every single time in any franchise. But yeah, whether Phil Salt and Delhi would be a natural matchup after their sort of acrimonious parting of ways, you never know. I don't think it'd work.
Yeah, so we are yet to go with the auction, the another leg of the auction. But here Graham was telling us, you know, what different teams should do, especially RCB and LSU who are yet to buy players. Graham, lastly, I want to know from you, any player that are you excited to look forward to in this auction who hasn't been sold yet? Because there is Steve Smith in the waiting as well.
It's always the big famous names that you look for, isn't it? So Steve Smith, obviously. I'm not sure if I was a franchise owner, I'd go for Steve Smith these days, just because of his age and the T20 format isn't really his major cup of tea. Just like Joe Root pulled out, even though they're two of the world's best players in the Test format, they don't really suit the T20 as much as some other players. So I always look for guys that I know, and I always think more like, you know, how much money are they going to get? So their Christmas party will be a good one this year, whatever. And one guy I will look for, and I'll say this name, and you might laugh at me, but David Willey is this player who he has this funny way of always taking wickets whenever he plays. And he looks very innocuous when he bowls, but he always gets wickets. And he's in that auction, and I reckon he could be an absolute bargain for someone and be a brilliant squad player in the middle. And before that, I mean, I was obviously this morning when I woke up, I was thinking who is going to be the big player, and I thought it'd be Pat Cummins. And I'm going to give a round of applause for Pat Cummins because my word, he's earned this paycheck, I think. And I was just listening to you boys talking before I came on about how his stature has risen so much from that 50-over World Cup, from his leadership, and I thought he led brilliantly. When you think of what a shambles Australia were at the start of that World Cup, to go on and win it against an Indian team who looked absolutely unstoppable. I think a lot of it had to do with the calmness and the leadership of Pat Cummins. So well done, Pat. I wish you all the best in orange.
Well, we wish all the best to Pat Cummins, and let's see what happens ahead in this auction. Chetan, we were talking about David Willey. Graham rightly mentioned his name, that he is excited to look forward to him in this auction. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's somebody who can pick up wickets, like Graham said. And I think a lot of teams are trying to save up money. This auction is all about getting those right bowlers in place. We've already seen Pat Cummins go for huge numbers. Gerald Coetzee, Mumbai Indians got him, so they'll be looking to get a couple of other bowlers as well. So we'll have to wait and watch. I think soon we'll be on the remaining pacers and spinners, and that's where I think the rest of the big money buys are going to come from.
Well, let's see what happens. Now we have another set of players in this auction, starting with Tristan Stubbs. Graham, what do you have to say about Tristan Stubbs?
Fantastic player, you know, he's a very, very powerful player. And you know, like I was talking earlier, in that middle order, 4, 5, and 6, those absolutely electric positions where people like Sky and Glenn Maxwell win you games for their franchises. Tristan Stubbs is one of those players who could go in there. So when I was talking about those South Africans for the other franchises to pick up on, Tristan Stubbs is one of them. He could be an absolute brilliant buy.
Yeah, and as we talk about the players, we also have this list of unsold players, and it's growing again and again with names after names. We have Phil Salt in this list. Sahil has been unsold now. Is it surprising for you?
Surprise, no, but I think the base price did play a role there, because base price of 1.5 crore for Phil Salt, I think that, for me personally, kind of went against him, because at the mini auction, we have seen overseas players kind of keep those high base prices, and the Indian players have been smarter on that front.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan went for 9 crores, but he has kept his base price at 40 lakh. So, we need to be smarter with the base price, and I think that is something which went against Phil Salt. In this round, we could well see him in action again when the teams like opt for accelerated auction towards the fag end of the mini auction. But right now, I think 1.5 crore base price was something which went against Phil Salt, for sure.
This base price thing has been talk of the town lately, Chetan, because there have been a lot of players whose base price has been an issue when it comes to bidding, and this time, as Sahil was talking about Phil Salt, do you think that has been the case with a few players?
It can be. I'm not sure if it has been this time around. It can be, especially in a mini auction, because the teams are looking for particular players for a particular amount of money. So, you don't, like somebody like a Steve Smith. I mean, fantastic player, but you don't really want to spend that money first and then miss out on the big buys by even a 1.5 CR margin. So we will see some of these unsold players coming back in the last round, where teams will say, okay, you know what? We want them under consideration once again. But Josh Inglis is coming up now, and I think DC will be interested in him.
Before that, KS Bharat has gone to KKR.
KS Bharat to KKR.
50 base price.
I think Josh Inglis is somebody that DC can replace Phil Salt with. So although they have a lot of overseas players already, but they do need a wicketkeeper option for Rishabh Pant that we've been talking about in terms of his fitness. And
the base price is a problem.
Yeah, Inglis isn't coming
how much
cheap.
how much does DC have left?
2 CR.
2 CR.
No, Inglis base price is 2 CR.
No, but how much does DC have left?
They left with
Capitals have 18.
18.
No, that's players. That's players.
They have max.
That's players. No, I think if they are able to pick him up at base price, then they maybe they can. Like I said, they might go for him again, probably in the later round where you again have the unsold players coming up for consideration. I think he's gone unsold. So
Unsold.
yeah. Just a question to Graham, if I can.
Yeah.
Hi. With David Willey, were you disappointed he was not given the central contract from ECB, and is that going to have a bearing because he's going to be available for the entirety of the tournament, unlike some of the other English players?
Strange one. The timing of the ECB for that one just before the World Cup, it did upset David Willey. I know that, and he's sort of retired from international cricket more in a huff than anything else because he was still doing well. But that does obviously opens him up for the entire IPL. So I think it has had an effect on him, but probably in a good way because he's one of those cricketers who loves to scrap. He's let's face it, he's not the prettiest cricketer, he's not the quickest bowler in the world, he's not the best looking batsman, but he is so effective in a T20 team. And we've seen it, it's often those players who aren't the superstar players who get you the brilliant 100, who get you the dazzling 5 wickets once in a tournament. It's the ones who always pick you up 2 wickets, who always seem to come on and get the key player out. And he is that player. He's got that Midas touch. So I think he's a very attractive offer. I don't think because his might look and think, well, we'll have him if we get him cheaply. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 franchises have a bit of a bidding war and he gets a half decent price. But he's the sort of player who really could make a difference, even though he looks so innocuous. I can tell you, I grew up with him as a young lad. He's always had that sort of resilience and that will to win that any skipper would want in a team. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't mind actually if he ends up at Rajasthan along Rothman Powell, because I think Rajasthan have put together a lovely little franchise to win it this year.
Yeah. So, Jamie, as we were talking about the base price, we saw Josh Inglis, we have seen, Phil Salt as well, and the other players who went unsold, which clearly means that base price is one case, if not the only case, but one case to consider when you go for the bidding, especially in the mini auction, because teams look for the players who have a bit lower base price and then they bid for them, because it seems that here teams are looking forward to the players who have a bit lesser base price so that they can buy them and then they can fill the slots remaining in the team.
Look, it's been a common theme, I think, from the first auction, that the overseas players have a certain attraction to the franchises, but it's mainly the all-rounders. You've seen enough cases of batsmen who've set their base price at 1.5 or 2, or even bowlers, spinners, like Hasaranga had it at 1.5 and he's gone for just 1.5.
Yes.
So I think when it comes to base prices, it's very tough to say what actually works and what doesn't work. Look what happened right now. We had the keepers, and I agree, Phil Salt 2 crores, a bit much. I think Josh English definitely, even though he got 100 a few weeks ago against India. But then look at someone like Kusal Mendes. He kept his base price at just 50 lakh.
Yeah.
He's been Sri Lanka's best white ball batter for the last year and a half. Asia Cup, he was the leading run getter.
Yeah.
In this World Cup, okay, the run sort of trailed off, but he's been in good form. So I thought, at least someone for 50 lakh would have taken him. But he didn't go, neither did Phil Salt, neither did Josh English. So at the best of times, sometimes it's not about the base.
And then in the list, we also have Lockie Ferguson.
Again, but it's more about the impression. Sri Lankans have never been, barring a few names, have never been hot tickets at the IPL. But I thought someone like Kusal Mendes opens, bats 3. A team like DC, to my mind, should have got him, but they didn't. And his base price was just 50 lakhs. So auctions are strange on the best of days.
They are strange, and that makes them quite interesting. We had Chetan Sakaria on screen. It's been sold to Kolkata Knight Riders. Next up, we have Alzarri Joseph. That's also an interesting player. Let's talk to Graham and hear it out from him what he thinks of Alzarri Joseph.
Just now, here's a guy who's very excited, who many people won't know a great deal about, but again, he's a very, very physical, but a big guy who can dominate teams. So I was just listening to that chat there. I'm in agreement. When it comes to like base price, people say if you put your base price high, you put yourself off from some franchises. It's actually all about whether they want you or not at the end of the day, where the two teams want you. It's like if you've got a lovely classic car that you send for auction, if the right people aren't there to buy it on the day, no one will buy it and you won't get your money's worth. But if two guys who really fancy it are there, you'll end up getting top dollar. So I agree that putting a high base price could potentially put people off, but if they're put off by a base price, let's face it, for some of these guys, 2 crore is like, Phil Salt, if you want him in your team to win the IPL, you'd be more than happy to pay double or triple that. So it is a tricky one though as a player when you're going into an auction. I mean, I used to go in and say, well, I'm only available for 10 games anyway, so I'll put my base price as high as possible, thinking it doesn't really matter if I don't play, but if someone wants me, then they're going to have to pay me a lot of money. So I think that's why a lot of overseas players used to do it anyway. Now they're available for the whole of the IPL. I'm surprised that more people don't just go in and say, you know what, put me as low as possible and we'll see how we end up.
Yeah, that's right. If you want a player, then you'll go after that player. That's a fair point, Chetan, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of teams will also go again for that unsold list and say, what gaps are left at the end of the day in the last round.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, you know what, maybe at base price, we'll pick off some players. Steve Smith has been picked off that list, that unsold list in the last 2 auctions.
Yeah.
DC always do him a favor. Ricky Ponting does him a favor. Jokes apart. Graham.
Looks after his mates.
Looks after his mates. Graham, we were scratching our heads with a Rodman Powell for 7.4 CR. You're obviously a huge RR fan. Can you explain that one for us? I mean, obviously he's done well in the CPL for Barbados Royals. What role are RR looking for him at in the IPL for Rodman Powell?
I honestly think he's been brought in for that finishing role, that Andre Russell, Kyron Pollard sort of role, batting 5 or 6, going in for the last few overs and being able to just dominate and smash the ball everywhere. And I think he actually is the man for the job. He's not as tall as those 2 giants, but trust me, he is enormous. He's built like an absolute outhouse. He's muscles coming out of his ears almost. So he's the sort of bloke when you're bowling at, when he gets going, he puts the fear of God in you. And I think that's what RR want. They want someone to go in that sort of middle to late part of the innings. They've got Josh Butler at the top. They've got their top 3 who score so well. Jaswal and Butler always score well at the top. But when they don't, they haven't got the strongest middle order. And I think Rodman Powell going in is why they've brought him in for that role. It helps that he can bowl as well. But I think the main sort of area is batting at sort of number 5 or 6 for those last 8 overs. And yeah, it will surprise a lot of people the money he's gone for. But I think that the franchises obviously do their homework. And the fact that there was a bit of a bidding war and he went for that means that they know something and they rate him as well. I really rate him. I think it's a good buy, actually.
And with Trent Bolt and Josh Butler and Shimron Hetmeyer and with Powell, is that the 4 overseas players? That's the core of their overseas players to start with?
Yeah, probably, when you look at it, I mean, I haven't got the squad list in front of me, but it's always that, isn't it? You don't want too many overseas players in the squad, obviously. I mean, Delhi would have 16 Australians if he left it to them. So we've always got to work out what is the best way to do this team. And that is why if a team are putting that much money on Powell to get him involved, you think he has to play. They're not going to pay that much on a squad player. And then you have to shuffle the pack, don't you? I mean, quite interesting. Trent Bolt missed out on one game near the end of last year. He's brilliant, Trent Bolt. We all know what he can do with the new ball. But at one point, I'm sure I can remember him being just left out near the end, and they said it was injury worry, but it was to shuffle the overseas pack. So I hope they don't do that. I hope, from a Rajasthan point of view, and I'll be wearing my pink shirt with pride again this year, that Trent Bolt plays the whole tournament, because he's brilliant with that new ball taking wickets in his first over, and then the hundreds from Joss and Jaswal. How are they not winning it this year? It's Rajasthan all the way.
Maybe a few more runs from Sanju Samson will do it.
Yes, Sanju, of course, yeah. Maybe, or maybe Delhi will swoop in and try and steal him to go and keep wicket for them. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who
I know
knows?
that can't happen, by the way.
Yeah, and a while back we were talking about the two teams, RCB and Lucknow Super Giants. They were in bidding war for Alzari Joseph. He's crossed the 11 crore mark, 11.5 crore. It is for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Jamie, I think let's talk to Chetan first, because so far Chetan's predictions have been on point. Chetan, you feeling relaxed and happy now? Alzari Joseph is with RCB.
I mean, they need bowlers. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they let Harshal Patel go. They let Hasranga go. They were bidding big for Pat Cummins, was it?
Yeah,
they were
Pat
bidding
Cummins.
big for
Pat
Pat
Cummins.
Cummins. So they do need bowlers. They've got 11.5 CR from 1 CR base price. The question mark for me is he going to give you the returns that with that much money that they've spent? You know, with RCB, you always expect them to spend big on one player, which doesn't work out in the end. So we would want to wait and watch how this works out for them. But from a bowling perspective, a decent buy, like Graham was saying, that he's a lanky bowler, can hit the deck hard. But again, he's going to play 7 games at Chinnaswamy.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough. That is tough for any bowler. So yeah, jury's out on that.
But
A lot of money for him, isn't it?
Lot of money. And RCB, I mean, Chinnaswamy is no easy place to bowl.
No, I still wake up with clammy palms thinking about bowling against Sachin Tendulkar at the Chinnaswamy. So, I mean, I don't know what this guy's going to feel. I mean, it's brilliant for Joseph. I mean, imagine you sit there as a player. And this one thing you might not know as players, you're not always sort of in time zones where you can watch the auction or whether you're awake. He might even be, like in the West Indies, they're behind. He's probably still fast asleep. He's going to wake up with a lovely alarm call, isn't he, in the morning? Here's some poached eggs and here's a couple of $1 million, mate. So he's going to be very happy, but whether he'll still be as happy once he actually turns up and bowls at the nets at the Chinnaswamy a couple of times and realises what he's in for. Harshal Patel actually being released, I think that's a big gamble for RCB. I can understand that he didn't quite have the IPL last year that he did in previous seasons, but here's a guy who gets 30 wickets or 25, 30, 35 wickets every IPL, bowling in that tricky middle period at the Chinnaswamy. I think whoever's decided that they can do better than him, they must have a good game plan. That's my mate Mo Bobat, so they must have a good game plan. So I'm not going to go against this. Alzari Joseph to win the title. I've given the title to about 5 franchises here, I realised.
Yeah, 5 franchises so far. But yeah, we'll see what happens ahead. Right now, bidding's going on for Umesh Yadav. DC and GT are in the bidding war. SRH started the bidding war first, Jamie. They looked quite interested in Umesh Yadav. But Chetan was talking about, what Gujarat Titans really need at this moment. Do you think Umesh Yadav can fill in the remaining slots or the most wanted slot that GT really needs right now?
They need a fast bowler. They need an all-rounder. And We know the Shubman Gill is the captain, but they still need that senior player.
Yeah.
Where it's going to come from, I thought Pat Cummins, I thought GT would go hard for Pat Cummins. They did not, but they do need fast bowlers. If I'm not mistaken, their fast bowling will majority of it will be around Mohammad Shami, Mohit Sharma. Who look, Mohit Sharma was brilliant last year, but can you expect him to rock up and do it again? I don't know. So they definitely need fast bowlers. And look at someone like Umesh Yadav. He's been playing forever. He's that kind of bowler. He needs the captain's confidence. Look at him under MS Dhoni. Look at him under Virat Kohli. There were two very distinct Umesh Yadavs, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about how much he goes for. It's about where he goes and how he's handled. If, and again, that if is so massive when it comes to Indian cricket and especially the IPL. If he's handled well, this could be a bowler. Graham just mentioned 25, 30 wickets. You know, he could be that guy who gets you 20, 22 wickets because he's that good. But unfortunately, when not handled,
5.8.
he often ends up being very, very substandard. So wish him all the best because he's a good bowler.
Umesh has gone to GT, right?
Yeah, GT.
Yeah.
So GT wanted that bowler who could bowl in the power play. Now that Hardik Pandya is not there, Hardik was giving them 2 overs at least in the first 6 overs.
Yeah.
So they needed someone, and Umesh in the last couple of seasons, especially with that season with KKR, if I'm not wrong, he was brilliant with the new ball. And he has been regularly playing the domestic cricket tournaments for Vidarbha. Has been like turning up every game in the Vijayazari Trophy, Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. So pretty much in the rhythm, and I think this makes a lot of sense. And now this boy I'm really interested in.
Yeah,
Shivam
I was about
Mavi.
to come to you, Sahil, but you know, I'll
Mavi.
shift all the attention to Soumya, and we'll talk about Shivam Mavi for a while. But before that, let me give you an update that Umesh Yadav has been sold to Gujarat Titans for 5.80 crore. His base price was 2 crore and he's now been sold to Gujarat Titans for 5.80 CR. And now let's talk about Shivam Mavi. Soumya, what do you have to say? Because I know with all the chats that I've had with you, you have been, you know, up with essays on Shivam Mavi. What do you have to say for him?
I'm really excited. Because he's someone, I feel he's someone who has a lot of ability, you know, hasn't got that kind of attraction he deserves. And he can be a, you know, he can be a steal. You know, anything under 2-3 crores for him can be a steal. The kind of ability he has, quick enough, and a lot of teams will be needing him. And LSG and RCB are in the bidding war for him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, LSG and RCB.
I had that hunch. Don't be surprised if KKR jump into this.
MI. I think
I'm
MI might
not
jump.
sure about MI because from what I've gathered, not speaking to people around, LSG for sure, KKR are expected to jump into this auction for sure. Looks like it, but he's a very good bowler. I think GT wasted his one complete year by keeping him on the bench for reasons which are not known to anyone because they bid heavy for him. I think 5 or 6 crore. 6 crore they spent on a bowler and they played a bowler. I'm not taking anything away from Mohit Sharma, but if you invested 6 crore in a Shivam Mavi, why would you keep him on the bench when he was fit and available throughout the season?
Exactly.
Was he fit?
He was fit. He was completely fit.
If they didn't play him, there was something missing. Something missing.
I don't know what was missing, but he was completely fit. He was completely fit, and even right now he's recovering. But he had a fracture in the 12th rib, which is like a freak injury which happened. The 12th rib is a freak injury. Like it's not normal for fast bowlers to have a 12th rib fracture, and it was very unfortunate for him. He's recovering well right now. And 5 crore bid is something what he would have required, and it has happened.
Yeah, but here, Sahil, we got 4 teams. Let's ask Graham about which team should have Shivam Mavi. Here we can see LSG and RCB in the bidding war. We got a voice here that MI can also bid for it. We also got a voice that KKR can also go for Shivam Mavi. But what do you think? Which team will be the apt team for Shivam Mavi?
Be in agreement when someone just piped in there saying, I wouldn't be surprised if KKR swoop in. I think KKR need to bolster their bowling, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go. He is a real talent. I agree with that. I mean, it was a lot of money for him to sit on the bench last year, so something had to be awry or amiss somewhere. But when you look at bowlers who can actually go in and do a good job early on, there's so few and far between in the IPL that you'd think all these franchises would be after someone like that. So personally, out of this, I think KKR.
Yeah, KKR can be a really good team for Shivam Mavi is a talent. Let's see, it's bidding war between LSG and RCB right now. Jamie, what do you think? LSG and RCB, do you think that they have a decent slot for a Shivam Mavi kind of talent?
Absolutely. Both teams need fast bowlers and both teams need, Indian bowlers, because we've already discussed at length about the issues that come up when you have that 4 overseas player slot, and especially RCB. And I mean, RCB,
Yeah.
I think bowling has been their problem for since the IPL came into existence. A team like RCB, they need fast bowlers. They've got a good management setup now. I think Grant Flower has now joined them. He's coming off a time with the Australian team that won the World Cup. You've got Faf du Plessis. We're discussing Faf du Plessis earlier on the show. You know, not a spring chicken, but he's so fit that if they can build the next level of RCB players around him as a captain, someone like a Shivam Mabi could just slot in there and have that year which we expect from him. Look, he's been around for a long time. Won the Under-19 World Cup. Got injured. Did take 4 wickets on his India debut, if I'm not mistaken. But again, like we're discussing here, very strange that he goes for 6 CR and does not play a game last season. So I think he's a good bowler for India.
Kusal Mendes went unsold. Keeper. Josh English, Phil Salt.
So we
Unsold.
have next player, Mr. Starc,
Big
who
man.
is
Base price
getting
800 crore, 2 crore.
Big man.
Base
Big
price
moment
like
of the day.
going under the hammer, and it's a big moment. Chetan bhai, what are your thoughts?
Well, the camera has panned to Mumbai Indians straight away. And you know what? We've been waiting for them. DC are also into it because अगर मुंबई है तो दिल्ली को तो आना ही है बीच में जो हम पिछले 2 साल से देखते जा रहे हैं. So from that perspective, I think we're going to have a bit of a slugfest here. Not exactly 20 crores, but I see this going to 8 to 10 to very, very easily. I think 8-10 crores very, very easily. I think this is the highlight of the day. Mumbai will try their best. They might just spend 80% of their purse today trying to get Mitchell Starc. So I think they're desperate for Mitchell
But
Starc.
Jamie, 8 to 10 crores for Mitchell Starc. Okay, not taking away anything from his talent and ability, but the availability.
Again, like Chetan rightfully said, and let's hope he was right in his assessment, कि अगर आप जा रहे हो Mitchell Starc के पास, तो you have to have that discussion. Look, mate, it's been 6 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
6 years.
that you've not been around. You've pulled out most times. I think once there was injury. Otherwise, he had the T20 World Cup in mind. He had the Ashes in mind twice. He had the World Cup. He had Alyssa Healy and her commitments. Whatever it is, अगर आप उसको डाल रहे हो auction में, इस बार भाई हमें वो guarantee चाहिए. So yes, I understand why there would be a bidding war. And look, we're talking, and since I started talking, he's gone up what
6 crores. 6
Well,
crores.
it was around 3 when I last looked.
Yeah.
होगा वो, but again, until he comes out and says, हाँ भाई मैं 2 महीने के लिए यही हूँ, doubt रहेगा.
Jimmy, you're right. But what also comes to mind is probably what might have happened is with the culmination of the 2023 World Cup. His white ball responsibilities for Australia have more or less ended.
No, but there is a T20 World Cup.
I doubt he's going to go
No,
for the
obviously.
T20
T20 World Cup. He will.
I mean,
I would
don't know.
think he'd be there.
Okay.
But again,
I'm thinking
Mitchell Starc. You have to take him.
Australia for this World Cup, Caribbean, the
I
kind
think
of
considering you
I
have
don't know,
okay,
I mean-
you have a T20 World Cup, probably getting that practice T20 mode and
Exactly.
everything. Fine.
But
But
even,
again,
fair enough.
No,
He is going.
no,
I
no,
think
no,
he should
but
go.
again, that is a problem.
Even if there is a
That is a
T20
problem.
World Cup where he is actually a
ये
kind of
पहले भी
There
हुआ
is
है.
a problem with England.
IPL is a great opportunity.
English and Australian players that they want to manage their workload as well. That is also a problem.
ये पहले भी हुआ है कि there's a T20 World Cup coming and he still pulled out of the IPL.
Yeah.
So it's not a new thing. They have to speak with him and say, boss, because look, they spent 10 crores on him, which is what, out of their 12 crores left, and tomorrow he pulls out, Mumbai will be nowhere.
So,
And as it is, they've been struggling without a pacer.
the term workload management, I respectfully, it should just be restricted to red ball cricket, not white ball. 4 overs in IPL, 4 overs in T20. You don't really, if you can't manage your workload for 4 overs, you really need to stop playing cricket.
True.
So I don't see that the need for that term, workload management. I think everything is in favor of Mitchell Starc coming back to play it. When will he earn his money? He's achieved all the accolades that he can as a cricketer, as a red ball cricketer, as a 50-over cricketer. Now it's about, happy retirement time. And this is the time for him to say yes to IPL, make himself available. This is the time when he needs to earn, kind of in the money. Like kind of, and I think once bitten, twice shy. I think even the franchises are going to be extra careful in putting that money on the table, knowing that he's 100% available. So it's not going to happen again. I'm sure people have done their homework.
Sahil, here the Australians and the New Zealand players are having a brilliant time.
I think MI have just like pulled out of the race.
Pulled out at
for
9.8.
Yeah,
Mitchell
they
Starc.
have only 12 crores, right?
Yeah, so they pulled out at 9.8.
I think they desperately needed someone
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Mitchell Starc.
I'm happy KKR is at least buying someone.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out what have they done.
GT are in the picture again.
GT are in the picture and KKR in the picture now.
Because GT and KKR both have some good
Which,
pucks
you know,
with them.
to me, this again doesn't make any sense. Ki Delhi were there just to raise the price for Mumbai, and then जैसे ही Mumbai के price के beyond चला गया, they went out at 9.6. Mumbai went out at 9.8. I mean,
as they always do.
no, but Delhi had the purse.
Yeah.
If they really wanted him, which is what really irritates me about Delhi's auction strategy.
I'm so vibing with Ashish Nehra's look right now. I just can't get my eyes off him. That ulta
Take off your
chashma,
jacket and
ulta
wear it
blazer.
reverse, ना हो जाएगा.
Dude, this is a
I might
different
be
vibe.
asking for a
also.
second jacket जो ठंड हो गई है स्टूडियो के अंदर मैं अभी एक सामने डाल लूंगा.
But my point is, every time in every auction they do this once or twice with MI.
Yeah.
They keep on bidding, raising the price, and which is a proper auction tactic.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted Mitchell Starc, they could have just stayed in the auction and they could have been part of the auction right now. They have the purse.
They have the purse.
And this is something that really irritates me about Delhi because the kind of players they buy.
Chetan bhai, not the lineup in the final 11s.
That's what I'm saying. Ki jo wo players they end up buying, it doesn't work out for them.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you are spending the auction taking panga with another team.
Yeah.
Playing these,
Mind games.
mind
Kind
games. Look at MI and what they have done in their IPL history.
Yeah.
Look at DC, what they have done in their IPL history. So,
On that note, Srini, Mr. Starc.
I think we
14
are in for
crores.
another jackpot because
Another
two
jackpot.
teams with the beefed up purse
Yeah.
on the table, they're going after Starc and both are like, they want Starc.
I'm
And I
surprised RCB is not there, but they've already spent 11 crores on
Yeah.
Alzari Joseph.
And he has played for RCB, so that's fine once. And you also have Reece Topley. You don't really need him. Like if it's about need.
I think
14.5.
KKR won't stop, shouldn't stop for it.
Shouldn't
Both
stop.
of see the thing is, both of them are at 31 crores.
But GT
So-
can afford, for GT, having Starc is luxury. They have the purse, they have the quota sorted.
Quota.
So same with
They have the
KKR
balance
also.
also.
No, KKR ko to like, they
Same
don't
with
need
KKR.
players. KKR to need players.
So
Like
it's the same
GT
with
ke
them.
liye to it will be like a,
So that's what I'm saying. Ki yahan pe there is no reason for either of them to pull out. Both of them have high purse, 31 crores. They can easily go 20 crores.
Yeah.
And they both need the player. ऐसा नहीं है
This
कि
could go beyond Cummins actually.
this could go beyond
This could.
Cummins.
I don't think
both
And
are
they
they
should
should
have
have
around
30
17.
plus.
And hopefully for once he will turn up.
That's what.
After
Hopefully,
20,
after
if
20
he doesn't,
crores, if he doesn't turn up,
then we
he'll be
must
like, "तू
like
भैया रहने दो,
renegotiate
माफ
our
करो."
association
so
with
mega
Cricket
auctions, mega
Australia.
auctions में तो बहुत सारे
मना कर देंगे तुम
funds
मत
आ
पार
रहे
ये
हैं.
No, boss.
I
see,
guess this is the idea behind him getting that. kind
After
of money.
20, he could well tell Cricket Australia, I need to manage my workload according to the
Yeah,
IPL.
yeah, according to IPL.
No, but I think just
I guess they'll
17,
stop now.
17.
17.
just going back to what Srini was saying, ना, इस साल भाई वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट का सबसे बड़ा टाइटल जीत के आया है,
हाँ,
वनडे
ODI
का
का
जीत
जीत
के आया. I still think he's gonna go to the T20 World
yeah,
Cup.
I
But
do so.
ticking off these two things, ना, हाँ भाई, you know what?
Now I
अब मैं
can take
IPL
it
के लिए
easy.
ready हूँ,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
makes sense.
And when he's ready, he's getting what 18 crores. My God.
But again, it's again, I understand he's a fantastic white ball bowler, but Pat Cummins is giving you leadership. Pat Cummins is giving you a damn good fielding option and batting. Mitchell Starc outfield में अच्छे ऐसी बात नहीं है, पर वो dive नहीं करेंगे जो Cummins करेंगे. Batting तो है नहीं T20 में, so it's still you're paying a lot of money for just one core skill, you know. So somewhat surprising that he's come so close to Pat
I think
Cummins.
GT is going to pull out.
He's come very close to Pat Cummins. Yeah, this is.
But who else do GT need? GT need a couple of middle order options.
GT need a lot.
That they can
need
go
a lot.
They
But
can go to
GT
domestic
need a
players
lot.
for that.
Rashid,
Uncapped players.
एक बात
Have
बताओ.
they have they really replaced Hardik Pandya? No,
This
they
is what I'm getting to.
They haven't.
But when you talk about Hardik Pandya, there's the all-round core. You can do that. Barring Rashid Khan, वो आपका वो senior leader कहाँ है वो उस team में?
नहीं है ना. नहीं है.
बुद्धिमान साहा.
नहीं है.
Kane
वो
Williamson.
leader कहाँ है?
Kane Williamson.
यार आया तो ठीक है, वो नहीं आया तो.
Oh, who's got them?
20 crores.
20 crores.
No, it's a clapping for 20 crores.
Clapping for 20 crores.
Oh my God. Two Australians.
40.50 crores.
40.50 crores. And
He's
this
gonna
guy Top
break.
Brass is
He's
not
gonna
happy.
break Pat Cummins' record.
20.25. He's 25 away from
25
Pat
away.
Cummins.
Amazing.
My
But
God.
that's-
हो जाएगा भाई ये
That's
21
that's
My
ये
God.
21 जाएगा शगुन होगा.
like I don't feel इतना
So we
पैसा
have
just for one season.
we have crowd also sitting in the auction today.
Yeah, it's an open arena this time.
So that's why they went to Dubai.
Yeah, that's why I went to Dubai. Like a big open space. That Coca-Cola arena something.
Oh.
Okay, that's
Should have
interesting.
planned Dubai.
Huh?
Should have planned Dubai.
You could have.
I could. I'm talking about myself.
20 point.
20.5.
20.5. 20.5 CR.
Maxwell would be thinking I
think,
should have
oh,
put
KKR raised their KKR. Acha, RCB.
Done.
via-
Yes, 2075.
They have
Highest.
2075 highest.
2075. Maxwell would be thinking, Chetan bhai, he should have
21
put his
crores.
name in the auctions.
Who?
Maxwell,
Maxwell, yes. 25 crore. But the thing is,
21.
all respect to Glenn Maxwell, I still think he's underperformed and he's a little overrated.
Yes. He's
Uh,
underperformed. I wouldn't say overrated, but yes, he has underperformed.
I'm saying overrated. So, yeah, I mean, only Maxwell can get out for first ball duck and then
And
score a
score a
double
40
100.
ball 100.
Score a double 100 and win you that match next day. So that's only Maxwell. He works in extremes. Beach ka kuch nahi hai.
It's still going on.
Yeah,
still
21
going
crores.
That's a lot of money. Like I understand. for
41
GT,
crore between.
between
Two players.
two players,
Between
two
two
Australians.
Yeah, I mean, worldwide, those who are running T20 leagues, they like to talk money.
Can you
Yeah.
That's
fathom?
money.
Can you
That's
fathom
serious money.
exactly what these two guys did exactly a month ago on November 19th, December? This is set their base price here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One match.
Yeah,
One match.
One match.
And like you
No,
rightly
no,
said,
two
from-
matches. They did that to India in the summer.
No,
as
no,
well.
but again, I'm saying
Yeah,
you're talking about
obviously,
recency.
recency bias.
To
Yeah.
like I said, to shut down a stadium,
22.25
and
What
get
this
this price.
price, man.
Oh
This is
my
insane.
god! Oh my god! This is
Who's in?
22 crores. I think that's with KKR.
The owners are shocked. The other owners
shocked.
are
You're
shocked.
missing out
What
on
is happening?
25.25 as well. 22.25.
Yeah, I mean, still, I mean, that's
22 किसी का पर्स भी है और टीम का इस टाइम जितना है bid for
no. SRH was the only one with 30 plus.
30
Yeah.
plus.
They've spent a
GT
lot.
had 38 I think before the auction.
RCB had
GT got
when they were
Mavi.
bidding
No,
for
22,
Pat Cummins,
they had
23 when they
23,
were bidding for Pat
But
Cummins.
they see, look, the thing is,
Whoa,
22.5. Oh my. So the thing is, you spend this much money, that guy has to play 14 matches.
Yeah.
Is he going to come first?
No.
And then
He will. He will.
I think we can now remove the come.
come
thing.
wala bit.
But 14 matches. When has Mitchell Starc ever played 14 matches in a row?
That's the point.
Now we've jumped to this kind of terrain. के
Yeah.
ठीक है, अब तो आएंगे.
Will he actually show up?
Even if he goes for
And will
this,
he play 14 matches?
even if he goes for this amount, that's more than a crore for a game. Even if you reach the finals.
Yeah. Oh, it's still going. 22.75. Oh
22.7.
my god. Oh my god.
23
KKR
We're speechless. Oh, 23.
seven
23.
matches at Eden Garden. Mitchell Starc.
23 CR. Oh my
now
god.
it's kind of getting little
That's just
insane.
a little much.
Little
Yeah.
weird.
23 is a
Insane
lot.
money.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
insane money. Yeah, I mean it's.
For someone who's not played a lot of T20 recently.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Is Mumbai happy they don't have 23 crores to spend, or they're like what? Oh my god.
my god.
23.7. Oh my
24.
god. 24.
Ashish Nehra seems to be very adamant to take him, right? Ashish Nehra.
आशीष नेहरा ने
Your
मन
word,
बना
your-
लिया तो लेकर आएंगे
Your words on that.
लेकर आएंगे आशीष नेहरा ने मन बना लिया तो लेकर आएंगे
Mr.
But
Malhotra,
सामने
your
भी
your
जो
thoughts
सामने
on
भी
this?
गौतम गंभीर वाला बैठा है
सामने भी it's basically Ashish Nehra versus Gautam Gambhir.
Gautam Gambhir.
it's a beautiful song of fire and ice both like with the same
my God.
इसमें
mindset
आइस कौन है भाई?
आइस तो
Ice,
नेहरा
Ice,
जी है ना
नेहरा।
हो गया ना?
Nehra ji.
Comparatively.
ये जब गंभीर का रेफरेंस है तो आइस तो गंभीर नहीं होगा ना वहां सिर्फ फायर होगा
Fire to Mitchell Starc है भाई. 24.
So they had a steal. Gujarat Titans and Umar Azai taking him away for 50 lakhs, who scored some runs. He's the
इतने में
highest,
बाकी
second
players
highest
की
run
auction
getter.
कर लेते हैं.
And the all-rounder.
And the all-rounder.
We can have a तब तक अगले player की auction कर
Auction
लो.
कर लेते हैं. हाँ,
अगले
इसका
player की
decide कर लो
auction कर
दोनों.
लो.
I think इसके बाद they should break for lunch यार this is a
Oh,
lot of money
24.25.
They've broken the bank.
Yes.
बस हो जाओ यार.
I think this Gambhir is making a return statement of sorts. I'm back at the
उनको
table.
पता है ना कि 6 साल तक मिचेल स्टार्क एक IPL मैच भी नहीं खेला है ना.
This is bonkers. This is.
What if, okay,
This is
if
madness.
Mitchell Starc is available for all the 14 games, fine. What if he gives away runs like for 8 or 9 or 10?
Then
No,
what?
see,
Srini.
That happened with Cummins, yeah. 15.25 crores, economy of 10, just 3-4 wickets.
Unadkat,
Oh
Chris
my
Morris.
I can go on about the bowlers who've gone for
Srini,
15
your
crores.
thoughts?
Sam
Srini?
Curran?
Srini,
Srini?
Srini.
Your
He's
thoughts
crossing right
if
now.
Yeah,
he gives away
crossed in
runs
he's crossed in
at
the.
8, 9, 10, what do you have to say? Itne
I
amount
am at loss of words. I
Yeah,
can't believe what is
can't-
happening
yeah,
here.
This is unbelievable.
I'm at complete loss of
This
words.
is- this is unbelievable.
25 crore, like, you know, this is the IPL year. This is the year of IPL that people are going to remember. As Chetan said about Hardik Pandya, about
Yeah,
Mumbai
yeah.
Indians
Mumbai
did,
Indians.
what is happening to Starc and Cummins.
Madness. This is
You know what? Doesn't matter where you play your cricket, appreciation of it lies in
Right,
India.
No.
That's
And-
the
and
story
so-
of this IPL.
And you know what?
And the
He has-
oval.
Yeah. And
Where you were.
And one more thing I would like to add here. श्रीनी ने बहुत बार ये कहा है क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट पे जब हमारे शोज होते हैं that the players purse needs to increase to reflect the value of the players. अगर हार्दिक पांड्या की डील की आप बात करें या आप this bonkers money that's being spent, 20 crores is the second time we've crossed today. We are edging on 25. Oh my god, बोलते another 25 lakhs. My point is
24.75.
my point is with the kind of rights money that is being thrown in the IPL, I agree with Srini. You know, it's time for the player purses to go up, where this becomes as mind-boggling as this is. This becomes the normal, and Ashish Nehra's pulled out.
Says he dismisses the bid. He
Yeah,
just dismisses it.
हो गया.
Done. हो गया मेरा.
And are they?
Is Gautam Gambhir
No, is KKR smiling?
smiling? Yes.
You know,
Or
we've
they're
got
just-
him, or oh my god, we have no. What are they thinking? Oh my god, we've got
that
him.
is what
Oh,
I'm
we've
saying.
got him.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that. It
Gautam
was-
Gambhir is smiling.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is.
My gosh. And they paid 15 crores to him
24.75
6 years
crores
ago, I
for
think.
Mitchell Starc. He goes to Kolkata Knight Riders. That's another record broken in the day, in the span of 1 hour, probably. Australians are having a brilliant time. So are New Zealand players.
Gajab hai, I mean, it just says you win 2 titles in the span of 5 months. One
अगर ये
against
दोनों
India,
अपने पैसे
one in
जोड़ लें,
India.
अगर कमिंस और स्टार्क अपने पैसे जोड़ लें तो अगले साल आईपीएल की
एक
टीम ले
auction ये कर सकते हैं।
एक ऑप्शन तो यही कर सकते हैं 90 करोड़ कितना 90 करोड़ में से 40
And
करोड़
arguably the best T20 Australian bowler has just come now.
and then
But he won't get
and
anything.
CSK will take him for
He
4
won't get-
crore.
Yeah, exactly.
CSK will take him for 4
Josh
crore.
Hazlewood is the man who's actually won titles for Australia in T20. And
Oh
the
wait a
IPL.
minute, RCB released him also.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, so they had he had availability issues, no? He won't be available like for the entire.
No, no,
About
fine.
1 month he's
They
gone.
released Hasaranga, Harshal Patel and Hazelwood in one go.
Hazelwood was because of availability.
Whatever it was, they released him in all 3 in one go. मतलब उनको इस साल भी टाइटल नहीं जीतना है.
At times, I'm just looking forward to Chetan Bhai's reaction when we talk about RCB.
I know that's more entertaining than
That's more entertaining
RCB,
Then the bowling
than
order.
the bowling attack.
We'll
जैसा मैंने कहा था कल कि लास्ट ईयर 19-20th ओवर में चेज होता था 200
इस बार
इस बार 15-16 में चेज होगा. Oh my god.
What did Hazelwood go unsold?
Unsold.
Unsold. Availability issues.
Yeah, I think that's why they released him.
And the thing is, CSK,
Also purse issues now.
CSK have got Shardul
Shardul.
and
What
they've got Darren Mitchell.
behavior was this? They broke into an advertisement when Jaidev Unadkat came on screen. This is not done. This is not done. I
He
will
got-
protest. I will
in the
walk out.
last
I will
IPL he
walk out
got
right
45
now. You
crores.
just
No,
can't
but
do that
talking
to
about
Jaidev
it-
Unadkat.
Yeah.
No, but talking about it, they CSK have Shardul and they have
Darren
Mitchell.
Rachin
So-
as well.
No. What I'm saying is
Oh.
कि they don't need Hazelwood.
Hazelwood.
वो जो नीड दिख रही थी कि हेजलवुड को ले सकते हैं because they believe in getting those players back. Maybe in the mega auction they'll go again for him because यहाँ पे availability की बात आ जाती है. So we'll just have to wait and watch.
It's interesting. It's interesting, Jamie. 24.75 crores for one Australian player, and then the next one going unsold. Was probably the finest in the format.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, it's both things. You've already spent so much over what you planned to get Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc, and then like Sahil just said, अगर एक महीने के लिए Josh Hazelwood नहीं है तो कौन आपको देगा? But again, you just have to process, and it probably will take a couple of days to understand कि भाई what we've just seen. I totally get Pat Cummins going for a lot of money. I mean, maybe not 20.5, but Mitchell Starc, चलो हम मानते हैं कि वो आएंगे, पूरा सीजन आएंगे अगर वो फिट रहते हैं तो. But 14 matches, like you were saying, Swami, to divide the math, that's an immense load of pressure on someone जो 6 साल से एक भी गेंद नहीं डाले हैं IPL में. बहुत international experience है, बहुत उम्दा record है, but you've not been breathing the air that so many others have been breathing, and you've not been in the IPL setup for 6 years. So let's hope, you know, for Starc से कि वो आके 25 विकेट तो ले लेंगे और जहां भी वो जाएंगे फिट रहेंगे हर मैच में, whatever venue. Because look, IPL, यार, you play one match, आप 2 बजे आप घर आते हो, next morning आप flight पकड़ के, it takes a lot on a tall, fast bowler. So let's hope, I mean, for the sake of the IPL and the franchises, that Mitchell Starc lives up to this reputation, because that's a hell of a lot of money.
Because it's going to go for a toss if it doesn't work out. Like it's going to be massive criticism on social media for KKR, Chetan bhai.
So more than I think जब आप ऐसा एक पासा खेलते हो तो obviously you're putting a lot on the, and I think looking at the way Gautam Gambhir reacted, you know, this was a statement buy for them. They're looking to make a statement, and they need that statement because हमने जैसे बात की थी कि they didn't have a proper leader of the attack. They didn't have, you know, resources in the bowling. ठीक है, they have Sunil Narine and Andre Russell. हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि आप कब तक उसके ऊपर चलते रहोगे. Obviously, retaining Mitchell Starc for 24.75, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Retainer will be at 15,
one season.
15 crore or 10 or 12 crore. This is for one season. But again, at the end of the day, it could show them the path ahead, maybe. That there is life beyond Sunil Narine and Andre Russell. जो चीज KKR को नहीं मिल रही है. तो यही बात हम पहले भी कर रहे थे कि वो गौतम गंभीर ही कर सकते हैं. And I think the way they went after this, I think that makes a statement. But again, you're absolutely right. If it doesn't work, criticism से ज़्यादा social media पे तो comedy होती है, वही होगी. I think.
Who is KKR's second opener? Because you cannot open now with Gurbaz and Roy. Do they have a domestic opener?
They'll have to go with Venkatesh Iyer. They'll have to go with
Venkatesh Iyer
or promote Nitish Rana to opening.
He's open. I was going to say earlier we were talking
Nitish
about
won't
Rana.
open. With Gambhir around, Nitish won't open.
Nitish
will either play 3 or 4.
No,
Shreyas Iyer.
Shreyas Iyer. How can he play Shreyas?
Rana is utterly wasted for.
With Gambhir and Rana around, you can expect anything to happen.
No, I mean they can't. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि
open नहीं करेगा. वो 3 या 4 ही खेलेगा.
अरे 3 नहीं खेल सकता. Shreyas Iyer is the captain. How can he play 3?
Shreyas can